just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics won their first game of the season last night. They pulled away in the fourth quarter for a 122-90 win in New Orleans. Anthony Simons led the Green with 25 points. Peyton Pritchard added 18. Celtics are 1-3. They're back home to play Cleveland tomorrow night. As for the Bruins, they had a really bad evening up in Ottawa. They lost 7-2 to the Senators. Morgan Geekie scored to put his team up 1-0, and then things went downhill.
Can't get much worse, really. I don't know, sorry. I just know how hard this group works and how bad everybody wants it, and then to show up like that is just, I don't know. We put them on the power play 5 times. They score 4 of them. It's like you're shooting yourselves in the foot.
Drake Batherson and Tim Stützle had 2 goals and an assist apiece. The Bruins have lost 7 out of 8. They play again tonight at home against the New York Islanders. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at just after 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. At the World Series, the Dodgers in Toronto played an epic Game 3 late last night. And at 2:51 a.m. Eastern Time, Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 18th inning for a Dodgers win. Shohei Ohtani, 4 extra base hits, including a pair of homers. He was walked 5 times as well. Ohtani is also scheduled to pitch Game 4 tonight, with the Dodgers now leading 2-1. And the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Washington Commanders last night 28-7. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher.
They love the show. In fact, they said, Fred, you're the best.
And Hardy.
Who's Taylor the originator?
On 98.5.
Hello.
Hey there.
Aloha.
Bonjour.
How are we doing?
What? I'm an animal.
Can we use this for the radio? No, Nick, with your drinking at noon on Mondays.
Well, I tell her the truth. I miss booty.
That problem is too large for the Sarge.
You know how I feel about clowns on morning shows?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, hello.
Toucher and Hardy.
Flash Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back
25 glasses of soda.
having some fun.
On 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
It's just something that travels with me, yes. Shout out to Sarge.
Oh, hello. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube and get involved that way. If you're listening to us on a podcast on any of the platforms, you could be watching us on YouTube as well. So there you go. That's there if you want it. I am back. I was in Cincinnati over the weekend, and then I saw that the Patriots had won handily, and I wasn't going to get back until very late, so I was told that I had 2 days that are not accounted for in a vacation, not counting the Christmas break that I'm taking. So I said, why not? Why not splurge? And
Now,
I don't.
Fred,
yeah,
in the effort of full disclosure, there was some discussion yesterday as to when your flight was scheduled, when it got delayed, and when it actually landed.
We had an investigative journalist here who was on it immediately.
Yeah, so my flight left, what did it leave at 8:45? I can tell you. I think 8:45, and then it got in at 10:50. 10:50, I think is what it says. 8:45, 10:50. And I was home 11:30, around that.
All right.
So there you go.
Well, it was we had investigated the Delta flights leaving Cincinnati. There was one scheduled for 8:30. We believe that was the one that you had probably been scheduled on that got pushed to 9 o'clock. And then the actual departure time on that was 8:25. So it actually left early.
No. Well, what do you know? Must have gotten off the ground quick. I mean, what can I tell you? It's a difference of a half an hour. I don't know what to tell you. They were pushing stuff around. Can't tell you what.
Look, they get to pushing 10, and you never know who's in the queue.
Yeah,
you rack them, stack them, and pack them, like they did in Die Hard 2.
Right.
And sometimes you're circling so long you start to run out of go-go juice. And you never know, but there was some discrepancy as to the flight being delayed, landing late, and it actually taken off early and landing before its scheduled.
What time did it land?
I'll tell you right now.
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, crap. I can't go back to Sunday on Delta. I'm going to have to go to FlightAware.
That's right. That was the website that Andrew Callahan introduced us to yesterday. FlightAware.
Who's, I believe he said his wife tracks him on FlightAware. I said, no, just wait till that kid's a few years older and you get Life 360 in your house. Then your life's really over.
I don't know why any parent would put themselves on Life 360.
I told you why we did it, because my daughter was already 16 maybe when we got it, and she was absolutely opposed to it unless we agreed to go on it too. And I said, you could look where I am. I got nothing to hide. That's fine. I called her bluff on that immediately.
Yeah.
But now it turns into Marcy saying like, oh, so you stopped to get something to eat on the way home, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you can investigate this further all you want. I took a day. I didn't take a sick day, so I mean, you can look all around. If it makes everyone feel better that I got in at 11:25 instead of 11:45, then we can have it.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. I mean, if the idea is that I'm telling tall tales, you got me. I'm really up against the wall here.
Yeah, it did make us feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the.
First of all, if my flight was at 5 a.m. on Sunday, and I wanted to take yesterday off, I'd take yesterday off. But as it turns out, I got in late.
I believe the discussion was if you essentially left at the time you thought you were going to leave, and come in, and when you thought you would land, then just take the day off ahead of time, which I thought you were going to anyway.
I was going to take the day off ahead of time, but then I figured it's the day after a Patriots game. But then first of all, I have stuff I could talk about from the vacation, but I won't. So I'll just talk about when my flight took off, which is aggravating. But what happened is, after the game, I thought, oh, the Patriots won easily. I really don't feel like getting up and going. There's a problem with the flight people, with the government shutdown and everything. There was the flight had 19 rows. There was issues with, usually with my status and everything. There's like ways that they move you around, and they weren't doing that, and the flight was moved back. But I mean, if they boarded and got us off in time, I don't know what to tell you. I was already not coming in, because I told you guys at 4 I wasn't going to come in, so it doesn't really even matter, because I wanted them to be able to get a fill in, and it would have been Callahan anyway, regardless if I would have kept the day off or not. So if there's any other questions about this, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
I think only other than if it was, I thought you were going to take the day off, like I said, like weeks and weeks ago, and then you changed. I'm like, why? If you're going to be traveling over the weekend, just take Monday off. And
because if the Patriots lost, there was something I was going to come in. I was going to suck it up and come in. But since they didn't, I just said it occurred to me while I had 2 days, and after the game, I'm looking at the flight, and I'm like, it doesn't get in until super late. I mean, I didn't say it was delayed till midnight. I mean, if it took off at 8:25 and I said 9 o'clock, that's just good luck. But, whatever. But I thought, well, Jim told me, I mean, you were in the room when Jim was like, you taking Monday off? And I'm like, nah, I won't take it off. And then when I saw that the Patriots won handily, I said, I mean, what am I going to come in and just go, the Patriots played well for 4 hours while I am exhausted?
But you can see where that would aggravate Jim. It's like, okay, now I got to find somebody who is probably working right now, who has stuff to do tomorrow, to come in and work when we just could have done this ahead of time.
Yeah, but that's his job, so I'm not overly concerned about that. I mean, he got Callahan, and it would have been Callahan anyway. And if he didn't get Callahan, it would have been Roach. And if it wasn't anyone, you two could have done the show. I mean, I did the show for
easy. Before you just stick me in here with Wallach. Yeah, solo for.
I did
4
6
hours.
months of this show with either rotating people or me and John. I don't have a ton of sympathy for doing a show without me. Again, if I called in sick and said, "Oh no, I can't make it," I would. Then you have every right to bust my balls. But I mean, you guys have taken days off in the fall, and that was my day off in the fall. And if Jim had to call Callahan, I mean, you got me there. I feel really bad about it. I mean, if Jim had to text Callahan and go, "Can you come in on Monday?" and he had to say yes, I mean, boy. And imagine having a Patriots writer in the day after a Patriots game. That's just crazy. Again, I didn't say I had AIDS and that I can't come in. I told you guys I've taken my day. It was a vacation day.
Well,
It wasn't even a vacation day. Apparently, we had some day from last year.
Yes.
That was like a freewheeling Beasley holiday.
Some mysterious thing. Jim told me about that, too.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can, fine, you got me. You busted me. I took the vacation day because I told you I didn't want to. Look, the flight's getting in late. I don't want to come in. I didn't say, I got to take a sick day, guys. There's no way I'm going to make it. The flight's getting in at 1 o'clock in the morning. The flight was scheduled at like 8:35. They were saying 9 o'clock. I said, all right. I mean, the 25 minutes is neither here nor there. I shouldn't have even said anything. I should have just
There
told
you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Lesson learned. I won't share any information with you guys. I mean, it was in the spirit of like, look, I'm not getting into. I don't really have to say. I was just kind of doing that because you guys are my friends. Adam and Hardy are my friends. So what I should have just done is, if I was just texting Rick, I would have just gone, "Hey, I'm going to use the vacation day for tomorrow." But I was like, "Hey guys, basically the vibe is I'm not going to get in until late. I'm choosing to use that day that you guys were aware I had and was thinking about using." And then I even said in the text, "I'm doing it now, so I'm giving you, 18 hours notice or whatever." Not 18. I'm giving you 13, 14 hours notice, so you guys can get someone in there.
I appreciated the text. Always send me the text. I need to know.
Right. But I mean, if the investigation is like Fred's this incredible liar, then you guys have a very low bar of telling tales out of school. Like if I was wasted and, pulled an Artie or even a Fred and was like, well, I mean, when I said my tires exploded, my tires really did explode. That was the old car, so I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I'm sure in my career there's a few times I've bagged in sick when I was, could have come into work.
I could have an ambulance.
I went into work the next day.
Yeah, he was in the next day after that one.
Well, you were well rested.
Yeah. But
and quite frankly, the AIDS excuse, had you called up and say, "Hey, guys, I got AIDS," that would be even less of an excuse, because that's not such a big deal anymore.
Yeah,
you can walk around with full blown and be fine.
Yeah, well, I don't know
just HIV positive.
You'd have to be HIV positive.
Okay.
It would have to
All
be
right.
AIDS. But yeah, I mean, you got me. I used my day because I was coming in late.
But you didn't.
But I did come in late. It being close to midnight by the time that I got home is late.
You've been out catting around, on your own after midnight.
No, I'd been in someone's house.
Yeah. Don't act like you couldn't handle that.
I could have handled it. I just explained it. If you would like to go over it again, if the Patriots would have lost, May would have gotten hurt, or I told Milo this during the game. I'm like, all right. They kept, because it was close in the first half. I'm like, I was keeping an eye on the game. Also, as I told you guys, I was on a 19-row plane that was built in 1965 that there was no internet. I would have been coming in here with very little knowledge of what happened in that game. Because, again, I was with my son, so right after the Cincinnati game, we went to this golf place. They were playing the New Orleans game. And
Sorry.
Right. And then I, got to the airport, and I read a little bit about what happened. But by then, I knew I wasn't coming in, so I didn't. But, it's not like I was on a plane where they had Wi-Fi and I could have watched a lot of the game. I didn't feel like it either. I had the day, to be honest with you. And I'm like, this is late. And maybe because of the air traffic control situation, they'll give themselves some leeway with when a flight's going to take off and when it actually takes off. Maybe it was just my good fortune. But, I mean, it's not wild to think that there was a, half an hour discrepancy between a flight taking off and a flight. It's not really like I shouldn't have even put that detail in.
Correct.
Now I know. I should have, because it was really neither here nor there. And I thought that would probably be the vibe, knowing that I didn't say that the flight was taking off 3 hours from when it was supposed to take off.
I know.
said it was like minutes.
If you can, and this I completely empathize with. If you can play it all out and kind of see all this ahead of time and put it into words for like Jim and Rick, and I don't know if they would understand or not, but I totally get it. If you were to say to them, look, if the Patriots lose, I'll be in on Monday regardless. But if it's just kind of like a ho-hum win over the Browns, and listen to us, they're 6-2 and they got another win, and it's like, oh, ho-hum. But that's the feeling, right? Then I'm not going to come in.
But then it's the same thing but then it's the exact same thing. Then you'd still have to wait till 4 before you reached out to someone.
But if you were to tell that to them ahead of time, they'd be like, whoa, we're not going to do that. We're not going to wait until 4 o'clock the day before. Just say one way or the other right now. When I agree with you, that is the better way of doing it. Like waiting until that time to say, like, okay, does it make sense for me to come in tomorrow after traveling over the weekend and then making the decision. But if you were to put that to them ahead of time, they probably would have forced you into a decision either way, which is...
I don't know. Did you guys talk to Rick or Jim? It doesn't seem to me like this would be something...
I got an email from Rick yesterday. I was CC'd on one, but other than that...
Thank goodness I stayed out of that.
What, did you get in trouble for something? Or is this...
Oh, no, it was like something unrelated. You asked me if I had talked to Rick. I'm like, no, I don't talk to Rick.
There's no way he would have taken that the wrong way.
I find it very hard to believe that Rick or Jim, and I could be wrong, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, would have any issue with me going, hey... Like, I told them where I was going. I told them what was going on. I don't think that it's... I don't quite understand how this is an issue. To be honest with you,
it wasn't. Rick, I
don't know why. I had good stories. I had good stories from the weekend, but I'm not going to tell them. So now you're there.
Don't be like that. Come on.
No, it's 6:20. I'm not being a baby. Right, it's 6:20. I mean, I hope this was interesting to everyone. I mean, you got me. I mean, you caught me red-handed. I told you I wasn't coming in. I didn't come in. Yeah. And there you go. Mm-hmm. I was off by a half an hour of when the flight took off. My bad. I don't quite know where this is all going, but if it's fun for everyone, we can keep playing. Dan, go ahead.
Good instincts with radio, Fred. They literally had the same conversation yesterday at this hour. Where's Fred? What happened to Fred? So it is a compliment. I listen for you.
Oh,
And
I don't need that.
Too.
I don't need that, Dan. I'm not looking for that. What I'm saying is that I put on Instagram. I talked all week about going to the game. I put on Instagram that I was at the game. I told everyone I thought I had an 8:00 flight. That's the thing, is that the flight was 8:00. I thought it was an 8:00 flight, and it was an 8:30 flight. That's where the thing came in. But whatever. And then I thought it was leaving at 9. Whatever. But that's neither here nor there. The thing is what I told you, and what I told you at the time. I believe the text message even at the time. I can read it, and then we can move on. I text very many people, so you're gonna have to. Okay. Hey, sorry to do this, but they've already pushed my flight out of here until 9 p.m., so who knows what's going to happen. Figured better to do it now. I can just take the Caroline Beasley holiday. Jim said I'm owed from last year. And then Rick said, okay, I'm going to reach out to Holly. Callahan and Holly. I said, thanks. With the Pats win and my uncertainty, I think that's for the best, and that tomorrow will be all set. And that was at 4:46. So there you go. And if anyone would like to look at it on YouTube, we can validate that as well. If anyone wants to zoom in on my phone, that is going on.
Don't show your phone on camera.
And by uncertainty,
they can steal things.
Yeah, right. And by uncertainty, if you don't know what I mean by uncertainty, I mean with the government shutdown, they're not paying TSA or air traffic controllers, and there's all these articles in the paper about things getting delayed and flights getting canceled.
Real quick, any problems at Logan or at Cincinnati?
No.
Well,
none.
I know you have the TSA pre-check.
Yeah, but that
were there any lines? No.
Okay. Both were very smooth. In both flights, it turned out. I mean, I guess this one took off early, so there you go. But that is what occurred, and I got moved to first class on the way up, and on the way back, I was in row 18 out of 19, and there was a very heavy gentleman. Jammed all the way back, and my son was like, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. He was very concerned I was going to get myself tossed from that plane. And I said, I will not say anything.
He was there that one time, correct?
Oh, yeah.
He was there and saw it happen.
My greatest moment. But so you know what I did is I had, and if the guy's listening, here's what I did, is that my tray was down, and I had a plastic bottle of Diet Coke, and I put it between the tray and the seat, and I believe that might have created a little bit of a jam, so it could only go so far back. It was a very old plane. It had no TVs, no Wi-Fi. It had that Wi-Fi where you have to have T-Mobile. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Where they have the T-Mobile thing. It wasn't like the Wi-Fi that's for everyone. It was the T-Mobile. Like you can see you can't even see where the flight is. It tells you the running time left in the flight. So it was an old plane. But look, what am I complaining? It could have been terrible. Hopefully this is what I would be concerned about is traveling for Thanksgiving. And I think that there's a very good chance the government shutdown is still going on come Thanksgiving. And I am flying over Thanksgiving, but I'm coming back 2 days before we go back on the air.
Oh, good.
And I'll be in Detroit.
So no problems.
Well,
no late-night flights, no phone calls, no texts.
I mean, far be it from me, I'll tell you.
I put the travel ban for the family down on Thanksgiving years ago. I want nothing to do with it. What day are you leaving? Are you leaving on Wednesday?
It's never bad. It's like just for some reason, Wednesday's not bad at Logan.
We're conditioned because we always see news reporters at the airport standing in front of long lines.
Yeah, and I had one bad experience like 20 years ago, and I just swore off of it since then. And the only time I've done it since then was I took the entire week, left on Monday, and came back on Saturday.
My wife and I got stuck at Logan Airport one Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. It was like, nope, never again, never again.
You got stuck because there was like weather or something?
There was weather. There was weather here, and we were going to miss our connecting flight.
Yeah.
And we wound up going all the way home, and we canceled our flight. It was like, sorry, we're not coming. And I think we went out to dinner on Thanksgiving instead.
Well, listen, I'd much rather go out to dinner. That's why I go to Detroit. Detroit, you got the game, and that takes up the whole day. And then you go out to dinner, and then
stay downtown, right?
Yes.
Walk back and forth. Yeah.
And then Thanksgiving's over.
Yep.
And then you've got that in your back pocket. All right, a lot happened last night. Some things very, very late into the morning.
Well, I mean, talk about dragging ass. We were all up watching every pitch of the Dodgers and Blue Jays. So
when I got in the car today, I thought the game was still on.
It almost was.
So because one station was like running the game, with a guy coming in and out. Because I guess they didn't have the license to play the game.
Right.
So he was like coming in and out of while it was on. And I'm like, is this game still going on? Because I don't care who won.
It ended at about 5 minutes before 3 a.m. this morning.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But that's, midnight L.A. time. So you're all right.
We'll tell you what happened with that. Monday Night Football, Bruins and Celtics both played last night. So a lot.
Lots going on. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
When you're thinking about
last night.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy, brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going down?
Game 3 of the World Series last night in Los Angeles. Dodgers taking on Toronto. In terms of innings, tied the record for the longest such performance in the postseason. And early on, it was a really unexpected guy getting things done at the plate. In terms of Shohei Ohtani, who ended up on base a record 9 times last night, John?
9 times.
9 times. 2 doubles, 2 home runs. He was intentionally walked 4 times.
Yep.
And then essentially intentionally walked a 5th time.
He was 4 for 4. He had 4 extra base hits in his first 4 at-bats and then walked every plate appearance after that.
Yes. But in terms of the scoring getting going for the night, it was a different Dodger.
He delivers the 2-2. And Hernandez hits one hard. Left field. No doubt where that one's going. It's long gone into the Dodger bullpen.
Teoscar Hernandez making it 1-0. Toronto Blue Jays answering in the top of the 4th.
Class now offers home. Kirk hits it high, deep center field. Pages going back at the track, at the wall, it's gone! 3-run missile, Alejandro Kirk, and the Blue Jays lead in the top of the 4th.
The lead
Kirk is very Ronce-esque. In he's like a heavier Ronce.
I was going to say he's shorter and fatter than Say.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of these guys that you look at and you go, this guy is a professional athlete. I don't know.
5'8", 240.
I'm no athlete, I'm a ball player.
John, if Rich Garces was a catcher instead of a pitcher.
Oh, that's it.
Rich Garces, though, was tall, right? Like not like Kirk.
I mean,
Kirk is
really
not
short.
5'8", by the way. There's no way he's 5'8". There's absolutely not a shot he's 5'8". He's Altuve size.
Rich Garces was listed at 6 feet tall, 250 pounds.
El Guapo was short and fat in his own way. Yes.
Yeah, but not.
No, he wasn't 5'8", but still very round.
Yeah, he was fat. But I mean, David Wells was fat.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a fat drunk.
Hack Wilson, John, that's the best call.
Oh, yeah.
Hack
Good.
Wilson.
There you go. I like that.
Sure.
Good job, 12.
When did Hack Wilson play?
In the 1930s and 40s.
39.
There you go.
191 ribbies in one season.
Yeah. Well, wow, you read something and remembered it.
That's the record.
Congratulations. You got the book when you were a kid.
He had very small feet.
That I did not know.
You don't know that.
Didn't know that.
You don't know that.
What?
You don't know that. You're talking out of school.
The Blue Jays would lose and then retake the lead in the top of the 7th, only to have Shohei Ohtani come to the plate in the bottom of the 7th when they were still pitching to him.
Dominguez deals. And Ohtani shoots one left field. Carrying back. It is out of here. Ohtani stays on one.
Was that the last time they pitched to him,
yes,
John?
that was his last. That was the last at bat he saw anything to hit. That was the 7th inning.
The best athlete I've ever seen in person,
Yeah,
regardless of sport, is Shohei Ohtani. And I said that at the time. I said it the day after, or whatever, the Monday. It might have been the Monday after. I might have seen him on a Saturday. I got to take a step back and apologize.
Best baseball player in history, obviously.
Yeah, but
Obviously.
I mean, just as an athlete, like he's big and fast and strong, like everything about him. It's no fluke. It's not like one of these Kirk situations where it's like a squat little guy that you're just like, how the hell did this happen? Yeah. He's a big, broad-shouldered, fast, strong athlete. It's quite something.
Well, the game would stay tied at 5 for the next 10 innings. At that point, I believe Yamamoto was up and warming in the bullpen late in the game after pitching the complete game.
Yeah. They ran. The Dodgers ran out of pitchers. They had one guy who was the last guy in their bullpen, who I've never heard of, Klein. I forget his name, but he
Klein.
He went the last 4 innings.
Man by name Klein.
Yeah, Will Klein, the last guy in the bullpen.
Now, did he? No. What about Klein? How are his feet, Adam?
Adam.
They're immaculate.
And Klein was just put on the roster. I don't even think he's been there. So Freddie Freeman at the plate. Here we go. Bottom of the 18th inning.
Full count on Freeman. Little delivers. Freeman. It's one high in the air. Straight away center field. Varsho at the wall. Gone!
That's a good call.
Freddie
Because it gives you a little bit of suspense.
Yeah.
I enjoy that call.
Mr. World Series ends the marathon at midnight.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Now, not the longest game in World Series history.
In terms of duration.
In terms of time, that 18-inning game between the Red Sox and Dodgers went 7 hours and 20 minutes because there was no pitch clock, you see, and no limits on when you can take relievers out. So, yeah, that game ended at about 3:20 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. But that was, I believe, a weekend. This was middle of the week.
So, okay, so they got to play 2 games in the next 2 days. How does anyone have any kind of insight into how this is going to affect pitching for these teams?
No idea. I do know that after going 4 for 4 and reaching base 9 times and hitting 2 home runs, Shohei Ohtani is starting tonight. He's a starting pitcher for the Dodgers tonight in Game 4. And I would imagine Dave Roberts would like to see at least 6 innings out of him after he emptied his bullpen last night. The Dodgers used 10 pitchers.
Okay,
10 pitchers
so
last night.
Lauer for the Blue Jays threw 68 pitches. Hoffman threw 33. Dominguez threw 27.
I guess
so. I'm just wondering, like the Dodgers had a guy that threw 28, 29, 37, 30, and then that Klein kid's not going to pitch again.
Kershaw, you could possibly use because he was in there, it looks like, for one hitter. So, he could probably pitch.
There's a lot of pressure. What I'm trying to say is I'm assuming there's a lot of pressure on the starters tonight to eat some innings up.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, Scherzer's a real mistake. I don't know you win a World Series with Scherzer right now. But nonetheless, who's starting tonight for you said that the Shohei's starting for
Bieber. Bieber goes for the Dodgers.
Okay, so Bieber was the pickup who was hurt, who ended up being very effective.
Mm-hmm.
So Ohtani, if I'm not mistaken, is not like a long inning guy, right?
Well, he went 6.
Okay,
last
he did.
time.
All right. Okay, so
he
if he can go 6,
throw 90 or 100 pitches. He went 6.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's a lot of pressure on these starters. So maybe it's a war of attrition. That if you can, would that be the correct term? If you can get your starter just to eke through 6 innings. So maybe it's the beginning of the game counts a lot more. Look, I would prefer the Dodgers not win, but I'm not staying up till 3:00 in the morning, nor suffering through the whole thing.
I wonder if the over is the play on this. 8.5 runs is the total for tonight. So if they're going to stick with guys a little longer than they normally would because they used so many last night, maybe you go over in the game tonight.
Yeah, because you would be thinking that usually when there'd be quick hooks, maybe there aren't tonight.
I'm going to bet everything on the over. Excuse me.
Okay.
But it does seem like the Dodgers were content just to let Klein pitch and that was going to be that.
Well, again, I only read this morning. He was supposedly the last.
Well, if
guy
Yamamoto was warming up the day after, 2 days after he threw a complete game, and he's the second best player on their team, I'd imagine that they were in dire straits. Would today be a bullpen day for him? Probably not. It would be tomorrow today would be the bullpen day.
Yeah. No, not.
But maybe they
after.
figured since it was after midnight. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know because usually, I mean, if I have that.
Well, a game like this, there are no set roles for anybody the rest of the way.
Yeah, but the series is it's kind of an interesting philosophical thing because the series is 1-1, so Yamamoto would pitch again. You would think.
Well, it's 2-1.
Or it was 1-1 last night though.
Okay.
So you would think Yamamoto would pitch again. So is it worth getting in an uncertain 1-run game, in a game where it takes 1 run, is it worth pitching Yamamoto and sacrificing a start from him, to get him in, and who knows how effective he'll be? It's an interesting.
I mean, do you go for the kill shot now? And
right.
Then if it doesn't work out for you, you're screwed for the rest of the series.
Because you have, again, 1-1 last night. You have a 3-game cushion here where you could Like, I don't think anyone thinks because Toronto – look, this might be very difficult for Toronto to turn around tonight and win. But if Toronto wins tonight, they still have home field then.
Mm-hmm.
And, the series is certainly not over. So it's interesting. If I had cared enough to be watching it, it would be interesting to hear the philosophy of the two managers.
I just got the best surprise I've had in a long time.
What's that?
We're sitting here yesterday, Fred, and you know how I've been talking about betting the Jets on the money line, and I was so pissed because I forgot to. I just forgot to, place bets. I just opened my account. I'm like, what's all this money doing in here? I placed the Jets money line bet so long ago, I forgot.
Congrats.
So I had Jets on the money line against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Woo!
They were plus 2 something.
Plus 250.
Yeah.
Makes up for that Michigan State money line bet that I placed minutes before kickoff against Michigan on Saturday night. But I also had them plus 13.5 backdoor cover, baby.
What's the spread for BC Notre Dame this weekend?
Who cares? All I know
is I can't sell the tickets. Go to SeatGeek and buy them.
I thought I forgot to bet the Jets money line. I forgot that I did. I placed the bet like 4 days before the game.
Lunch is on Hardy.
Well, there you
Fantastic.
go.
Yes.
Hardy's riding high.
That's fantastic.
The school's paid for. There you go.
Yeah.
Your tuition. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. The Bruins and the Celtics played yesterday. We can have all that information. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Well, let's talk about those two teams who had one win and one loss. The Celtics were the winners, 122-90 in New Orleans. They are 1-3 on the season. Anthony Simons, 25 points. Celtics off tonight. They'll host Cleveland tomorrow evening. Bruins got run over up in Ottawa, 7-2. Morgan Geekie and Victor Arvidsson, 1 goal apiece for the Bruins in the loss. They are now 4-7, and they play again tonight at home against the New York Islanders. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and face off a little after 7 o'clock here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And as we were just talking about, the LA Dodgers lead the World Series 2-1. They beat Toronto late last night, 6-5 in 18 innings. Freddie Freeman, a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 18th inning. Shohei Ohtani, 4 for 4 with a pair of homers, and he will start Game 4 of the series tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Rob Ninkovich, and Christian Fourier. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Want the lowest price on name brand tires? Town Fair Tire beats all the competition. We beat the wholesale clubs. We beat online prices. We beat all local tire dealers. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Town Fair Tire. Hey, it's Maz for Window Nation. October is here, and if you have old, stuck, or cracked windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, that's a big deal. And did I mention that Window Nation has an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau? Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get...
And the Bruins played last night. Both very compelling games. So you take your pick where you want to go with this.
Oh, I want to start with the Bruins.
Yeah, baby.
As they were in Ottawa, and in Ottawa, they were actually playing the World Series game during the intermissions.
Yep.
And they said most fans just stayed in their seats to watch the Blue Jays last night.
Not many people in Ottawa last night. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't know what the announced attendance was because they don't do that. They don't have proper box scores anymore.
16,640, but I agree with you. It looked a lot like a lot less.
People with good seats chose not to go.
Yes,
they missed one. They missed a good one.
I tell you, who chose to go and show up was Morgan Geeky.
To rally from the red line, he skates it forward, plays it softly down the wall and in behind the net.
Very quiet in there.
I'm telling you, no one was there. I watched until I couldn't watch until my eyes started. I started to get hysterical blindness.
Is this the right cut? Is this from one of the bubble games? What are we doing?
I'm telling you, there was no atmosphere at either one of the games last night. They were both very depressing.
Plays it softly down the wall and in behind the net.
Softly indeed.
Paulo steer it out to the blue line. Picked off here by Geeky, stepping in, and he scores!
Okay, that's how the Bruins are able to score right now. A giveaway in a team's own end, and
they're
then you
up
take
1-0.
it. You take it, and you take it.
They're up 1-0.
That's right.
They look good.
Not for long.
Taking him toward the far side by Sanderson. Under some duress, able to get it out into neutral ice. Here's Amadio down the left wing. Circle backhander, scores! It deflected in front. Giroux was crashing the net, and Ottawa grabs a 2-1 lead.
He was kind of camped in front of the net. Actually, he got tied up a little bit, so maybe crashing is a better description. But it got real ugly.
Rally finds Lohrei behind the net. Lohrei trying to push it back near side. It got taken away, and they score.
Okay, so
3 guys behind the net, 3 Bruins behind their own net.
So 4 power play goals, which is some sort of record in Ottawa or something of that nature, or it's been a long time. I heard it this morning. It's been a long time. So if the Bruins were going to be good at anything, you would figure it would be penalty kill, considering that that's what they spent all their money on in free agency was just muck. Get it going into corner guys.
Want to be difficult to play against.
And I got news for you. They suck. And this is not a sports radio. This is talking to you as a fan of the Bruins. They suck. They're very difficult to watch. There's no way they're making the playoffs. I hate to let the cat out of the bag. I think Swayman might have been a big mistake giving him all that money. And I understand it's not his fault, but he still gave up 7 goals and his save percentage sucks. So just look, he's not winning games for you. He's made some good saves this year. All of those things
should have been worse last night. But he at least early in the game he was really.
He's
good.
Getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
And look. If he was a mid-paid goaltender, I would say fantastic. But they sold. This is the NHL with a hard cap and guaranteed money. They have him he's their goaltender for a long ass time.
Yep.
And so whatever with that anyway. But in order to develop this for this team to get enough talent, this process is going to take a long time. Like this is paying the fiddler for being good for so long. It would have been nice if they won another cup.
Well, did really the season 3 years ago where they went all in, traded away all those draft picks, brought in all those guys for 1 year, and then they flamed out in the first round. That's what they're really paying for. Everyone wanted Don Sweeney to go all in. He went all in, and the team choked. And now here we are 3 years later with what you see. Hampus Lindholm's not there, and that hurts a little bit. But there's something else going on here. Everybody on the ice is terrible in their own zone.
Well, Hampus
and in
Lindholm,
the neutral zone too.
Hampus Lindholm not playing is another problem. Is that he never plays. I don't doubt he's injured, but he's injured all the time. So that's a problem. So I think you gotta. I don't know if there's anyone on this team I wouldn't trade because if a guy's in their prime, you're a long way from that guy being contributing to a winning team. They suck. You could just see they suck.
They were awful.
They're terrible.
Awful.
So what are they playing for? They're playing for nothing. It's nonsense. So, I mean, if they traded Pastrnak, who's very good, and they got whatever return, like a million first-round picks, I mean, how much do you think that affects the future of the team, like the next 3 years? Like, are they going to win because they have Pastrnak? What I'm saying is, I'm not saying to trade Pastrnak. What I'm saying is, they're so bad, I don't think that anything they do in real time is going to affect anything, because how are they going to make the playoffs next year? Forget this year. How are they going to make the playoffs next year?
You have to hope that Lindholm stays healthy and that Swayman ups his game a little bit.
And then they make the playoffs?
I'm not saying
they would have
far.
to not go far, make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. If they're completely healthy, they have to add like 5 pieces to make the playoffs. And they're not going to be able to do that. So I got news for you. This team's going to suck for a while. It's very frustrating. And I'm not even blaming anyone. It's just the way things go. You had such a long run. Now, unfortunately, you couldn't capitalize on that run more than once. But, it was good. It was a nice time to be a Bruins fan. It was a very large chunk of time where they were very good. But it's all over now.
Yeah,
and they're all gone.
Tied for last place in the Eastern Conference this
morning.
morning.
Yeah. I mean, if you're
4-7.
watching this with this team with like hopes that they're going to win and that they're going to stack wins, there's no way. I mean, you can see it. And someone who's never watched hockey before, Ottawa's so good that they should be able to beat you 7-2?
Yeah, they still they got Carolina coming up.
John, but the problem is it doesn't matter who they have coming up.
No, I know that, but it's just all I'm saying is it's bad, and the teams that they have to face now, there's no rest. The Islanders come in here, they're 4-0-1 in their last 5. They got Carolina in a couple of games. All I'm saying is there's no break. It's bad luck. They're not playing well, and it's bad luck with the schedule too.
They don't have any talent on the team. They're bereft of talent, and McAvoy's not very good. If you forget Swayman, don't tell me McAvoy's good. McAvoy's a huge disappointment.
He hasn't been good at all. I mean,
and you're paying that guy a ton of money.
Yeah. The other part of this is because you gave away all your draft picks, there's no young player that you can look at and say, okay, this guy, you give him a couple of years, maybe he'll develop into something that can help in the future. I mean, they really don't have that young guy anywhere on the roster. I mean, has Fraser Minton set the world on fire? He's one of the guys you traded for at the deadline last year. He's your third-line center.
They got the kid that's still in college that they took in the first round.
Oh, Letourneau, yeah. I think he has 1 goal this year after scoring no goals last year.
So, I mean...
For BC. I have to check on that, but yeah. But Hagens. There you go. Hagens.
Yeah, Hagens is the kid.
Hagens is the kid. He's the guy.
So say Hagens comes up and he's Connor McDavid.
Yep.
Let's just say he's Connor McDavid. You still suck. So, I mean, you
not
do.
enough.
No.
I know.
You're like 5. You need a whole second line.
Yeah.
You need to improve your first line. So let's just say if you got 3 new forwards who could manufacture 2 lines out of them, then maybe.
And then you have to get remarkably better defensively, which is supposed to be your calling card in the first place.
Right, and you're roped into these defensemen until 2030. Yeah. So, I mean, you
have a great forward and a forward that is pretty good.
Yes.
Geeky is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Geeky had 30 last year. He scored again last night.
And he's not an albatross of a salary.
No, he's not. But you throw Zacha and Elias Lindholm, who got beat again in the defensive end last night. You got a bunch of guys you could just throw into a hat.
Lindholm was a horrible sign.
Well, and to be honest, we sat here the day after they signed him and said, what the hell is this?
Well, yeah, because
And then all the Bruins fans who are pro will say something like, you know what? He just had a bad year last year. He'll find his top game. I'm sorry. Just looking at the numbers, we knew he was declining. And you know what? He's your number 1 center for a long time. There's no one, unless Hagens proves himself next year to replace him. But even then, he's still going to be a top 6 forward for you.
Yeah, he would be your number 2 center. And so it's a real disaster. And it's just kind of paying the fiddler. But I'm telling you, there's no guarantee like next year's good. I can assure you that. And you got to hit on picks. There's a lot of uncertainty with this team. It's very frustrating. And just very quick, Hardy, I'll just say your Celtics won by a lot in a very depressing Smoothie King place in New Orleans.
Look, had an early lead, up by 13 in the third. The lead started to slip. It got to 4, but then, your very likely heroes, Peyton Pritchard, Anthony Simons, and Sam Hauser, closed the deal for you at the end.
Simons, I see why they got him after watching him in the fourth quarter last night.
I like it.
Lit it up last night.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sport.
in the win, and the Celtics blew open a close game with a 25-2 fourth quarter run. Joe Mazzulla's team is now 1-3.
I thought we just executed defensively, held the one shot, got the rebound. Obviously made some open shots. We kept our pace offensively, and we were able to knock down some open ones, whether it was off our offense or off offensive rebound. So I thought we played well, connected basketball, getting stops, keeping them off the free throw line, and then good execution in the offensive end.
They'll be back at TD Garden to play Cleveland tomorrow night. Bruins got run over by the Senators in Ottawa last night, 7-2. Drake Batherson and Tim Stutzle each scored twice and added an assist for the winners. Bruins lost for the 7th time in 8 games. They play again tonight at home against the New York Islanders. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at just after 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The LA Dodgers lead the World Series 2-1. They outlasted Toronto in 18 innings late last night, 6-5. Freddie Freeman walked it off with a solo homer leading off the bottom of the 18th at just before 3 a.m. Eastern time this morning. Shohei Ohtani 2 homers and reached base 9 times in this game. He's also scheduled to start Game 4 of this series tonight. And the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Washington Commanders last night 28-7. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Enjoy the game with the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please drink responsibly. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Here we go.
Boom. I win. Boom.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. If you'd like to watch us on YouTube, you can watch us live. Go to YouTube, subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. We were talking about the Bruins.
Nice.
Good segue.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line.
And Sam said he was in his car.
Well, wouldn't that be great?
We used to get those on Zoe and Beetle a lot. I don't know what it is. I don't know. We've never figured it out. We've never had a proper explanation. But sometimes you get hold music when you go to calls. We don't know why. Still don't know why.
It's interesting.
Someone else running a contest somewhere else in the building?
Yeah. Oh, well, that could be the case. Donovan, are you calling from Kansas, the state of Kansas?
Yeah, I live in Kansas and I work in Kansas City, Missouri. So it's about an hour and a half drive every day for me to go to work.
Hachi Machi. Are you by Lawrence, Kansas by any chance?
Yeah, I was actually there at a KU State party and watched KU get their ass kicked and not very much of a rivalry.
Yeah, Lawrence, Kansas is like a punk mecca in the middle of Lawrence, Kansas. I hear very good things about. Very famous descendant show.
It definitely is a fun place to be. Actually, I got to party at the old James Naismith house, which is pretty cool.
Oh, there's peach baskets in the like.
Wallach just perked up.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Are they hiring?
They did have like cups that were it's pretty sedity, but they did have cups that were like James Naismith house. I kept one and took it home like a loser. So,
well, listen,
no, not a loser, sir. You should be commended.
You should see my collection of Burger King memorabilia. All right, Donovan, go ahead, my friend.
So I think it's tough to say we don't have anybody. There's nobody to blame for the lack of talent on the Bruins. I think the biggest blame here is Don Sweeney. I know there were a lot of people that were upset last year when Don Sweeney got a new contract, and I know I was one of those people. And it's the drafting, it's the talent. I mean, how many people said when during free agency, and we said, who the hell is that guy? Who's he signed? What is that person going to do for the Bruins? No big names. And I understand they're tight with money because of Swayman and the Pastrnak contracts, but I think it boils down to drafting. The drafts have been horrible. That's why there's no young talent. Look at all the other teams in the league, whether they suck or not. They have at least decent young talent.
I was surprised that Sweeney got extended as well. Well, not surprised. I probably wouldn't have done it myself, but the thing about not having talent that they can point to is that they traded all their value picks away to keep that machine rolling, and they'll say we had like this unprecedented. I bet you if you look at wins in the 21st century, that they probably have more wins than any other team in the last 25 years, or at least they're top three. So what they would argue to that. Now they should have won more cups. We all agree on that. They flamed out in the playoffs. But look, Sweeney could have done better. Look, the Lindholm signing was atrocious. I am not arguing with you. I don't think he's like the world's greatest GM. But I'm just pointing to the particular talent on this team. I don't really know where he could have gone in free agency where they would be good this year, which kind of goes along with the point that it just kind of goes along with the point that they're like, it's sort of like a hopeless suck. Like that there's like it's not like if he would have done a couple things differently, like all of a sudden this team would be good. It's like they're just like mired in this garbage. And I don't see them getting out of it anytime soon. Go ahead.
All right. We routinely do this, but it seems like a good time to check in on this. How many regulars do you think the Bruins have on the roster right now from their last 6 drafts?
Okay, so that would remove just tell me that removes Pastrnak.
It does.
Okay.
The last 6 drafts, how many regulars do the Bruins have?
They drafted Lowry.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we got that.
That counts. That was 6 years ago.
They did not draft Minton.
Nope. They traded for Minton.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay, so not Lindholm, not Middlestat. They didn't draft Zaka.
Nope. Traded for him.
And they didn't draft Geeky.
Nope. Signed him as a free agent from Seattle.
2?
1.
Okay.
Mason Lowry.
All right, there you go.
Matt Patra is in the minors. Fabian Lysell in the minors. And nobody from the last 3 drafts is on the big club. Mason Lowry is the one guy getting regular time on this roster from the last 6 years of drafts.
And you understand, though, that they could point to that and go, well, we just didn't. The thing that killed them, and it really killed them, was when they kept the 3 picks in the first round and didn't get anyone.
They got DeBrusk. He was the guy.
Yeah, but is DeBrusk good now? Like, where the hell is he even playing? I don't even remember where he's playing.
Edmonton, right? Went
I don't know. What do I know?
Oh, no, Vancouver. Sorry.
Is he any good?
I'm going to check
because
right
there's
now.
a lot of like DeBrusk was good, but DeBrusk wasn't like a cog in a really good machine.
2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points.
All right, so he's whatever.
Last year, 20 goals.
Okay,
28 goals. Sorry. 28
all right, so he's a quality middle forward.
Yes, middle 6. Way to put it. But that more, he was just talking about the bad drafting. There's the example of it.
Right. That was the most shocked. I remember where I was. I was in Detroit, and I actually called Haggerty, which I would never do. But Haggerty was our regular hockey guest, and I was actually like, "What the hell's going on?"
Picks 13, 14, and 15. I'll never forget it. But it was DeBrusk, Zaboral, who was, a 7th defender at best, and Sinishin, who didn't last here very long.
So it's the roster, number one, and then it's the quick hook on the coaches too. So when Sweeney and Cam are making the decision to get rid of Cassidy because he's not treating the young players well, and then getting rid of Montgomery because, well, we got to do something, and this is the roster, and we can't change the roster, so let's get rid of Montgomery. Which I don't know of anybody really like that. Even if Montgomery wanted to go, you still figure out a way to keep him on board. Now you've got Sturman here, who is talking last week and saying, well, this is the roster, and there's no changes to be made. We got to. I have to work with what I've been handed here because there's really nowhere to go with this stuff. So. At what point does it finally come back on Cassidy and Cam? We had said it before. The caller just said there were people who weren't too thrilled with his extension. At some point, it's got to come back on them.
But it won't now because they've weathered it because they got the extensions to do the rebuild. So you're not going to fire them after this season because for what? I mean, you knew they were going to suck.
This is year 1
This
or
is
year 2.
1, really year 1 of the rebuild. If year 1.5,
because of the deadline.
Because at the deadline,
you started it.
They pivoted at the deadline.
Yeah,
which they should have done.
So he's got.
Did you watch the broadcast, the national broadcast, obviously you did, of the Marchand game? And they're like, there was like, if there was some debate if they should have kept him, why the hell should they have kept Marchand? So he could have been on this team? Like, so they would have a guy, I mean, he's signed well into his 40s. Like, so they'd have a 40-year-old Marchand, wearing a Bruins uniform and getting applause?
Yeah, they weren't going to. Look, Florida gave him 6 years till he was 43. The Bruins were never going to do that. I mean, even if Marchand had stayed and they didn't deal him at the deadline, it would have lost him anyway.
Exactly. And then but if you look at this team, it's
and
not
they
like,
wouldn't have gotten that first-round pick they got from Florida.
So the thing is that if you look at the team, it's not like, well, they're Marchand away. That's kind of my point, is that I don't know if anyone's undealable on this team, except because you couldn't deal them because no one would take them, Swayman. But, I don't know if dealing anyone, not that I would, but, like, why, if you dealt McAvoy or you dealt Pastrnak, like, what difference does it really make 2 years down the road if you're just bereft of talent everywhere else? I mean, every free agent signing they made was stopgap, except for the Elias Lindholm one, which they were actually trying to keep things going, and that was a terrible free agent sign, but they weathered it, and they got extended. So they're not going anywhere. You can't, because why would you? You don't even know if anything they've done is going to work. You got to see who they take and how these picks develop. I mean, they've bought themselves quite a bit of time. I mean, what would happen is, I guess, in a couple years, if the picks that they've taken last year, this year, if those picks aren't panning out, then you go, okay, and then you're in real trouble. Yeah. Because in hockey, look at the Red Wings. In hockey, you can have quite a little drought going.
How much pressure, now that we're talking about that, is on this kid Higgins next year? I mean, this is the thing. Bruins fans don't take this kind of play very well for very long. They finished last year. They're in last again here through 11 games. If Hagen comes here, he is going to be looked at, right or wrong, as a savior at the age of 19? He's going to show up here. Next year, and people are going to expect him to be at least the number 2 center on this team.
Yes.
I feel bad for that kid.
Well, the thing is that, do you feel worse for him being at least the number 2 center on a team that's bad, or if they were good and they were like depending on him to win games? Like,
it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
I don't think so.
They're going to expect Higgins to lift this team by himself.
That's ludicrous.
But if he doesn't, he's not dragging them down.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to play 15 minutes a night. It's not like he's so like. I told you could put Connor McDavid on this team, and they still wouldn't be very good. They'd be better, but they wouldn't be a cup. They wouldn't be challenging for a cup. You put McDavid in the center of that first line. That first line is like insane. Mm-hmm. So you have one line that's like, I mean, this is a ridiculous exercise, but it kind of is to my point. You have a line that's insane. So say that's good for like 10 more wins. So you're in the playoffs, and then you lose in the first round. Yeah. So you put the best player on the planet, one of the best players to ever play on this team, and they're still not great. So what I'm saying is you're not going to get Connor McDavid. So I don't know when this all improves, because you can't just go into free agency next year and fix everything, because you're not a player away.
And you're tied down with a lot of salaries.
Exactly.
I mean, you have Lindholm is long-term, McAvoy's long-term, Swayman's long-term.
Zadorov is long-term.
Both Lindholms are long-term. You just signed – now, the Geeky extension looks really good at this moment.
No, the Geeky extension is fine, and Geeky makes $5.5 million.
Pastrnak makes a lot of money. I mean, you got a lot of money tied up in players that, you're stuck with. So, yeah, they could go to free agency next year. They can't sign anyone of impact. Not really.
But even if they did, okay, because people are going to stop going to games because it happens here. And it happens everywhere. I guess Toronto is the exception. But people are going to stop going to the games. So, the inclination from ownership might be like just fix something so we're at least competitive. And the thing is that that's probably not the best idea going into next year. Now, after that, whatever. But, I mean, they can't go around trading picks. They can't go around taking, like, chances on long free agent contracts. Like, they got to kind of be a little conservative and try to build up that farm system, which is incredibly uninteresting. And but I mean, they're just very difficult to watch. It's a shame because it hasn't been like this since 2006.
Yeah.
And even 2006, they had kids ready to come up. Let's see if Sam's back. Oh, Sam, you're back. How'd you get the hold music on your phone?
Sorry, I had another phone call.
No, but how do you get hold music? How'd you get the hold music? Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think it just does it automatically, I guess.
That's kind of cool.
But I wanted to agree with you. When you first started this conversation, you said that they were very good. You know what they weren't? Great. They were just a mediocre. I would say they were even mediocre and, got lucky by winning that one championship because Thomas stood in their head in 2011. This 20-year run was, they had probably the most wins out of any team in sports of that year, but what did that give us? Really nothing. And now we're stuck in this mediocrity of just sucks because their GM and president can't build a team, put a team together. Thanks.
Yeah, well, they inherited a lot of that talent, and those teams were very good. I mean, there was teams that lost in the first round that were, President's Trophy winners, and I understand that doesn't matter. But the amount of winning they did, it doesn't happen unless you have a tremendous amount of talent on your team. They should have won more cups.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Bruins roster, the one you were talking about, 06-07. You had a 21-year-old Patrice Bergeron on that team. I mean, you can say what you want about Phil Kessel, but he proved himself to be a very good NHL player.
You got a great player for him.
He was a very young winger on that team. I mean, now you had Char and you had Savard, much like the Bruins theoretically had Pastrnak and McAvoy, to lead them into the future. But there you have it. I mean, you had two really good young players on that roster,
and then you had Marchand in your system.
Yeah,
you had a bunch of kids in your system. I mean, you had your defense? The defensemen were in the system at that point. I can't remember who off the top of my head. So I'll stop the exercise there. All right, very good. There you go. And that's pretty much the Bruins discussion for the year.
The Chara McAvoy comparison is probably the most glaring because Chara for years was the one guy that you would say if you were starting a team above all the other players on those teams after like 07, 08, you would take Chara first. He was the guy that was going to be the difference maker, and McAvoy has been anything but a difference maker. And he's certainly not. He's not filling the role that I think a lot of people expected that he would.
Yeah, you had Char and Bergeron, and if what you need is this kid that they took last year to be Bergeron, and that's a tough task.
Yeah.
You're asking a kid to be a Hall of Fame player. I mean, that team had a lot of Hall of Famers on it. Chara, Bergeron, Marchand. I mean, they had... they traded for Chara, but they drafted and developed two Hall of Famers on that team.
You know who else the Bruins had that year? A 23-year-old Dennis Weidman. I mean, they had guys. They had guys. That roster is better than this one.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Is that, that team sucked, but the next year...
Ken Thomas and net. I mean, they had guys.
Yeah, and the next year they went to the playoffs and they took Montreal to 7 games. And there you go. You knew you had something. But no one went to those games even when they had a better team. So I'm just telling you that it's easy for hockey to get lost in the shuffle. The Bruins have a great fan base. There's no question about it. But they also have an astute fan base that's not going to pay to see crap. And it's a shame because I love the Bruins. But, I mean, are you going to trip all over yourselves to pay $300 to go watch this team? No, thank you. No, I'm not. I don't even want to go downtown to go watch this team. So, I mean, if you gave me tickets and it was a weekend, I'd go. But what are you going to do? All right, Jay King is going to join us. We will talk to him about your Boston Celtics. There's so much sports. We're knocking it out of the park here with secondary sports. We'll be back with Jay King in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the...
Pretty much about the same, back-to-back. Tough turnaround, Detroit to New Orleans. Now, that's a tough way to start the season, but, I'm sorry.
He covers the Celtics. Hi, Jay.
How are you guys?
Well, I got Celtics fever. I can't.
Celtics fever. 1-3 Celtics fever, baby.
You got me going nuts over here. John and I were talking about this off air. Both of us had to Google why Zion Williamson wasn't playing last night. It's just, I guess, fat. What's the? Yeah, he just doesn't play basketball
The
anymore.
previous game was like Friday night, and he couldn't make it to a Monday evening game.
He was listed as doubtful reason, heavy for his height.
Yeah,
He was
it's been a problem.
He's just like banged porn star, got her pregnant. That's the whole thing. He just doesn't play basketball. Is that correct, Jake?
It's too bad because that kid, even when he's been on the floor, he's been so productive. He just cannot stay on the floor. I think a lot of it probably he's done to himself by being overweight, not being in the greatest shape, not committing to all the little stuff that you need to. But, man, like for him to be in and out of the lineup as much as he has, as unhealthy as he has, and still produce the way he has when he's been on the court, it's unbelievable. It's really too bad that he can't stay on the court.
So how big a litmus test was that yesterday, given who New Orleans was playing, who New Orleans had on the court? How impressive is that win in terms? I know it's the first win, but go ahead.
They needed a win. It was a second leg of a back-to-back. Weird travel situation from Detroit to New Orleans in the first week of the season. You got to get that win. You could tell, like, Jaylen Brown was little banged up with the hamstring, played on the second leg of a back-to-back. You could tell there was just some urgency there to get a win. It didn't matter who it was. Is that Pelicans team going to end up, winning 50 games? No, they're pretty bad. The backcourt of Jordan Poole and Jeremiah Fears is as unserious as it gets in the NBA. The Pelicans are right now the only team worse at defensive rebounding than the Celtics. So it wasn't the most impressive win, but on the second leg of a back-to-back, like just a really necessary win. If you go 0-4 there with the Cavaliers coming up on Wednesday, then the 76ers and the Rockets, like you're staring at 0-7. And so it was a big win, even though it wasn't the most impressive win.
This is all about discovering the roster as far as Joe Mazzulla is concerned. He's lost a lot of good players from last year. So, Jay, I know it's a small sample size. It's only 4 games. But what do you think Joe has figured out here in the early going about his team?
It's hard to tell because, you think he figured out something with Hugo Gonzalez, then he doesn't play last night. You think he figured something out with Josh Minott over preseason even. He sits the second game of the regular season before starting last night. I think Joe is just kind of in experimental mode. He's going to throw these guys in there, take them out, see what works. And I do think Minott is going to be a part of the solution for the Celtics. They need his athleticism. They need his length. They need his help on the glass. Hugo Gonzalez, I do think he's going to end up helping. Like, he's 19 years old, certainly not the most polished offensive player, but the level of energy he plays with, the ability to pick up full court and pester guys, they're going to need that the way they want to play. So I think that's what he's found so far. As far as anything else, like they're going to really rely on their top guys because there's not a whole lot of depth behind them, at least as playmaking goes.
Can we get mad at Gonzalez for not being called Hugo? Or, insisting on that H being silent because that's very frustrating, Jay King. You have to admit, he's going to make a lot of announcers look very bad.
See, I think Hugo is way better than Hugo.
Well, I agree. But, then just for the sake of everyone, just take the H out. And then you could be Hugo, which people associate with a bad car, which is good for your brand. So there you go. I don't know. Maybe he wins.
All on board with Hugo.
Hugo. You go full court, Hugo. You make up the pressure. Go ahead, Jonathan.
Jay, in the early going of training camp, all we heard was the Celtics are going to run. They're going to run. And through 3 or 4 games, they're in the bottom 5 of the NBA in pace. Where is this supposed offense gone?
It's hard to run when you can't get a defensive rebound. I think that's just how it's going to be. And Celtics have been actually pretty good at forcing turnovers. They were 5th going into last night's game before forcing, I think, 13 turnovers against the Pelicans. But they have been an absolute disaster on the defensive glass. The game against New Orleans was really the first time that they were able to hold their own in that area, and they go ahead and win by 30. Like, I think it's just going to be so important for them to make sure you grab defensive rebounds and you're able to then get out and go. Then, give Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown opportunities in the open court. But this roster is not built to defensive rebound. It's not, and Joe's going to play some really small lineups that's going to put them in some precarious positions, maybe build some strong bones. And I think, that's going to be one of the absolute key areas for them is just, can you grab rebounds? Can you finish possessions? The end of the Pistons game was just an absolute disaster in that regard, and it cost them the game. And that's just, they're going to have to figure it out without Jason Tatum, without all the front court talent they lost. It's a problem.
Yeah.
And
if you're going to
it's hurt their transition too.
Yeah, if you're going to open up space for guys like White and Pritchard, though, they're going to have to come through. And Pritchard, I don't know if he's struggling with having so much more attention being paid to him after a couple of years in the league, and is obviously his increased role right now. But last night, you saw him come through. He had a big bucket laid after getting his own board, and it's so much of it is going to depend on these guys. Derek White, I'm not so worried about, but yeah, with guys like Pritchard, okay, they're going to be thrust into this role, and you're going to have to come through. And as much as he did in the past, I'm not talking about half-court shots at the end of a quarter. I'm talking about consistently in-game minutes and coming through in those spots when they are running plays for him to get open.
Yeah, and it's a different situation for him because, when you move up in the hierarchy, it's not just that teams realize it's not just that you have to do more. It's like you have a better defender on you, like you are the focal point of the game plan, or one of the focal points of the game plan. I think it's just going to be an adjustment process for him, for Derek White, get those guys more efficient. Obviously, 3-point shooting wise, especially, they've kind of struggled here early in the season, but other than the 3-point shooting, I think Peyton Pritchard has approached it well. We've seen him get to his mid-range game, create, little short fadeaways. He's been, hasn't turned the ball over, had 8 assists last night. So there are a lot of signs that he's kind of adapting to it. The bigger problem to me is what happens when Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown aren't on the court. And that's when things have gotten ugly so far. Anthony Simons was great off the bench last night.
Yeah.
If he continues to shoot like that, it's going to be a big deal for the Celtics. But yeah, I think early on, especially as White and Pritchard become used to, having all of that defensive attention on them, it's just going to be a little tougher than they're used to.
One of the problems for the rebounding, Jay, is the lack of depth for their bigs. I mean, I guess Neemias Queta has kind of cemented himself as a starter, but after that, it looks bad. It looks really bad.
You weren't sold by Luka Garza with 3 threes last night?
No.
Taking a charge?
He stinks.
He's got that athleticism. I mean, he's up and down that court like nobody's business. He's a gazelle out there.
Former National Player of the Year in college.
I ran across him in college. Yes, I was aware of his presence. Him being, they talked about him from time to time.
Iowa, right?
He's a Big Ten kid.
I worry
he
about.
He did some damage against Michigan State. I won't lie to you.
I worry about him when I watch him run. I'm like, that doesn't look right.
That's what I'm saying. You can tell why he scored like 50 points a game in college and was a second-round pick.
Just as big an issue to me as what the Celtics have gotten from their center so far is that they don't really have a power forward. Like Josh Minot starting there, I think gives them some more size and athleticism. But when you were starting Sam Hauser, Chris Boucher, who had a promising preseason, he was down to 3 minutes against the Pelicans. Like, you're just playing a lot of wings, a lot of guards, and not a lot of size. They went from having 4 big men, including Neemias Queta, who you could throw out there and be comfortable with, and now you don't really have that anymore. And so I just think it's a lack of size at every position on top of the production at the center position that's going to be really challenging for them to figure out.
Well, I think for them getting that win last night, like you said, Jay, was big just to kind of get over that hurdle. But, going up against teams that can put, legitimate 5 starters out there and have, some kind of depth to them. I don't know how they fare in a bunch of these games that they have coming up, presumably until Tatum is back in the lineup come February, March, whenever it is. I mean, I don't see guys developing quick enough or them figuring out a way to really make this work.
Well, as Jay said, I mean, you look at the next 3 games on the schedule, they could be 1-6. I mean, that's what we may be staring down here before long.
Well, I just think the whole and look, Peyton Pritchard's a great story. I just think that the whole idea is like, what are you going to do when Peyton Pritchard's not on the court? Doesn't spell, a championship run. I mean, if you don't look at him and go, even though Austin Reeves, he's white and he's really been scoring points. So who knows?
Games, he's been big.
So who knows? I mean, who knows what's going on? All right. I should say not only white, but a North American white guy. So, I mean, we got
to be specific.
Because Luka is obviously scoring 50 points on great occasions. All right. Listen, Jay King, thank you. We always appreciate it. You're the best. Read all of Jay King's stuff in The Athletic as he is Johnny on the spot there. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it. And Ugo. That's what we'll be saying. You've started a new thing. Guys. All right, appreciate it. There you go. There you go. Always got to make the guest uncomfortable by pointing out the race of the player. A little tidbit for you.
That's the rule.
Write that one down.
You want to end an interview.
Did you tell that to the Hofstra kids?
They were already there because they had all the political guys with ponytails and guns yelling into other microphones. He's referring to when I went to Hofstra. Obviously, I've made a bit out of the whole thing. But one interesting thing was at the place I was talking to was almost every other personality was some crazy ass AM political guy, and so they a lot of them were broadcasting from lesser studios around Hofstra. And I will give them credit for giving me the main studio. But then I looked around and I didn't feel so good about myself because my colleagues, the people in my business, all had firearms. They were holstering firearms at Hofstra. I have no idea why. Maybe there wasn't even a gun in it, but I assure you that at least 2 of them, I'm not exaggerating, had holsters on. I'm not positive.
It could have been tasers.
Right. Like, I don't know if Hofstra would have let them in with like a gun on them, but they were making a point. I think we all understand the spirit. I feel very under the gun after this whole flight thing. You understand the spirit of what I'm saying. And they had ponytails and these holsters. And so Lord knows what they were saying on the air. They didn't seem happy. I can tell you that. They had a bone to pick with a lot of stuff. So there you go.
Hey there.
I know, Isaac. Don't you listen to them. Don't let you. But Isaac was basically in military fatigues when I saw him at Wegmans. I'm not joking.
Say my name.
He was wearing like camouflage from head to toe. His hat was camouflage. I'm like, Isaac.
Hi.
All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Very mixed results for the local teams last night. Celtics won in New Orleans 122-90. Anthony Simons 25 points off the bench. It's the Celtics' first win of the season. They're 1-3. They'll host Cleveland tomorrow night. The decidedly opposite result for the Bruins, who got flattened by Ottawa 7-2 up in Canada last night. Drake Batherson and Tim Stützle, 2 goals and an assist apiece for the winners, and the Bruins play again tonight at home against the New York Islanders. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at just after 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And at the World Series, the Dodgers in Toronto went 18 innings in Game 3 last night, and the Dodgers got a walk-off homer from Freddie Freeman for a 6-5 win. Shohei Ohtani, 4 for 4 with 2 homers and 3 RBIs. He was also walked 5 times. He reached base 9 times in this game, and he will start Game 4 tonight for the Dodgers, who now lead this series 2-1. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by our guys at Premier Basement Waterproofing. It's the spooky season, but you know what's most frightening? Water in your basement. So call our guys at Premier and never be scared again. 844-LIVE-DRY or premierbasement.net. This Halloween, it's game over for water. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy.
We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Never cross a line if you only snort it. If you can't work it, then what's your purpose? On that surface looks like
We are Toucher and Hardy. Listen Thursday morning at 7:55 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Bruins take on the Sabres Thursday night at the Garden. So I was in Cincinnati, Ohio for a football game. My son wanted to go see the Jets. MetLife Stadium's impossible to get to. So you have to stay. We're a downtown stadium. You need a downtown stadium, and you don't want to go out west or anything. So I chose Cincinnati, Ohio, and I thought, it's October. The Jets will still at least be somewhat a factor. But, of course, they were not. They were 0-7. But fortunately, when Bert was in, I wanted to make a joke. I said, if you need feet on the ground. And his interrupting kind of made this happen. Because the joke, it's not like a set-up punchline.
I'll play the part of Bert.
Okay, so I was like, hey, I'm going to be in, if you need feet on the ground at a big...
Do you need field passes?
Yeah, so it was something of that nature.
Because I know a guy there, and believe it or not, Cincinnati is one of the tougher places to actually get field access. But I could make a call and see if I can get that for you and Milo. Because I think Milo would enjoy it, and I know you would too, because you've been such a fan for such a long time.
So the joke,
and the guy that I know there is pretty good. So I'll put a call into him right now.
In fairness, he did me a solid, so I don't want to. I'm not looking to rip on him, but the joke it's not. I'm not doing stand up here, but the joke was going to be like, hey, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. We were having fun with me going to the game because the Jets are so bad. I'm going to be in Cincinnati if you need feet in the ground in the game. And then as he was leaving, he's like, do you need anything? Do you need like restaurant reservations or something? I'm like, no, thanks. And he's like, and I made a joke about if you want to give me field passes, you will have feet on the ground in Cincinnati. And then I think Hardy heard this. He's like, field passes. And I'm like, oh, look, man, that would be great. I'm not, but you offered. I'm not asking you. Like, I don't want to bother you. I made it very clear I don't want to bother him. And so, but I made the mistake of telling Milo, I'm like, there's a chance we could get field passes because I guess I wanted him to like me. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't resist. I had to put it out there. So he got all excited and he kept asking. So when we got to the airport on Saturday, I texted Bert and I'm like, hey, no pressure. Did you get those field passes? And he did it for the New York Jets. He ended up getting field passes.
Nice.
So what happens is you get there, the stadium opens 90 minutes early. You got it. I asked the information desk at the stadium. I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to have passes. And one chick was like, get out of here. Like, where's your ticket? I'm like, well, I used it to get in. She's like, where's your ticket for the field passes? I'm like, they have my name. And she was like blowing me off. And another lady stepped in. She goes, I'll handle it. And she went, and however she got them, I got Jets field passes. They were for the Jets. So you go down. It was pretty obvious everyone was getting on the field, and they divide you Cincinnati one way, Jets the other way. It's the Jets sideline. It's the away sideline, but one's on the left, one's on the right. So there's a lovely couple next to us. I would say elderly, but their son's not much older than my son. And I said, hey, can you take a picture of us? And they said, yes. And they said, our son's playing today. And they were this white couple, and the reason I mentioned their race is obvious. No, the reason is because Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields are the two Jets quarterbacks, and both are African-American. And I knew Tyrod Taylor didn't make the trip, so I'm like, who the hell's the white quarterback on the Jets? And I still don't know. So they're like, oh, our son's the backup quarterback tonight.
And you said, no, he's not.
And I'm like, who? I'm like, who is he? And they're like, they're Cook. Cook. He went to Missouri. And I'm like, they didn't draft a kid named Brady Cook. I don't know who the hell he is. So anyway, the kid comes out. He's very nice. He talks to his parents. He's like the one guy that came to his parents. He comes out. He talks to him. Milo takes a picture of the parents and him, which he puts up on Instagram. I know this because this is, of course, what matters to Milo. Milo takes a picture with him. He's bigger than the kid. It's Brady Cook. He was good at Missouri. I looked up his statistics. But So the game starts, and we did stay for the whole game. We weren't leaving. It was a beautiful day, and the Cincinnati fans were very cool. Very cool. Some stadiums are not. They were very cool. Cincinnati is a very walkable city. It's small, but there was like enough to do. I recommend going for a game if you're just going to go for a night. Good people. It was a good environment. It's a nice stadium. Not too loud. And no one's tripping all over themselves over this team.
Yeah.
It's good. Everyone knew their place. Everyone calmed down. Both these teams suck. So, but during the game, Milo keeps going like, I hope Fields gets hurt. So they put in Cook. And I'm like, that would be an unmitigated disaster, Milo. Focus on why we're here. I understand that you met the kid and you saw him throw on the sidelines, but temper your excitement a little bit about Brady Cook entering the game for the Jets. Now, I did raise that to his parents. I said, there's a chance Fields stinks like he did last week, and they put your kid in, and wouldn't that be a story? He goes, Mike White on the people. They had no idea what I was referring to with the Mike White. They weren't Jet fans. You might be surprised. It was when they signed their son and put him on the practice squad that they started to appreciate the Jets. I had to educate them a little bit. So what I did is I talked their ear off. No, I said they could Mike White this situation. Mm-hmm. They had no idea what I was talking about. But I go, wouldn't that be something? But I'll tell you what. Now the Patriots are playing the Jets on Thursday Night Football, I believe a week from this Thursday. And my son now not only wants to go to the game, he's saying, like, so when me and my friend are on the field before the game, he's now he thinks that I have access to field passes. Certainly with the Patriots, I'd obviously be able to get him on the field.
Well, that should be a no-brainer.
Yeah, we'll just contact
your position.
Yeah, we'll just contact the Jets before every game. I'll just find another writer to contact the Jets and get him on the field before every game. But I owe Bert big time because I'll tell you this. Between getting on the field and the Jets pulling that game out, I think I bought a little time with Miles still being a Jet fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There were a lot of Mangold jerseys, there was a guy crying at the end of the game. I don't know if he knew Mangold or what the deal was, but he was overcome with emotion. Oh. There was a collection of Jet fans. They all congregated. Milo thought they were giving something out on the sidelines after the game. So we had to make our way down.
Can we go? There. Can we get one?
Yeah, exactly. Like he thought, he was under the impression something was being handed out.
Prayer cards.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell he's referring to. But we went down there, and there's this group of like 300 Jet fans like doing the JETS chant. And I'm just thinking the whole time, I got to get out of here with these fans. What are you cheering about? Like, I'm glad I was here. I'm glad for in Glenn's sake they won a game, but let's stop with like the chanting and mocking of the Bengals fans.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they're nice, but if you push them and you shove them into a corner like that, then they maybe are not so nice.
Yeah, like the people around us, there were like a lot of Jet fans around us because they were like good seats, and obviously that's the ones that people that are going to come in from out of town want. And but the Bengals fans were none too surprised when the whole comeback happened. I have to give them a lot of credit. There was a very good fatalistic approach to that fan base that I quite enjoyed.
Nice and negative.
Yeah, like I got to talking to the kid next to me, and the Jets score that touchdown, the Breece Hall pass to Taylor in the end zone, and but they got to stop Cincinnati from getting into field goal range. And I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, there's no way. Time wasn't a factor. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And the guy next to me is like, oh, trust me, the Cincinnati sucks. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to kiss your ass here. They're gonna, and I like that back and forth.
Oh,
both of us there wanting an outcome that we both knew was not going to happen, but one of us had to have it happen, and it was me. And he congratulated me after the game, and I said, yeah, hurrah.
What was his name?
His name, strangely enough, if it matters to you, was Donald J. Trump.
Oh, wow.
He was there. He's a big Cincinnati fan.
How about that?
I was wondering why all the dudes in suits were around, but it turns out I was sitting next to the President of the United States. No, it was Adam Sandler. He was there for the game. Yeah. It was Boomer Esiason with his club La Boom. Were you aware of Boomer Esiason's club in the 80s called Le Boom?
I was not.
It's right across the river there.
I will ask you to do this at your leisure. YouTube Boomer Esiason Le Boom and see the news report featuring Chris Collinsworth and Boomer Esiason talking about their Studley disco bachelor status in the early 80s at Club Le Boom.
This is a real thing.
Yes.
There is a news report
Yes.
which ventures on creepy.
Yeah.
And it's Collinsworth who's the creep. But Boomer did not like talking about Le Boom.
No, you tried to pressed him on it. Well, first when he expressed some dismay about speaking about it, that's all you wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, I needed
you went
to know,
right after him.
I needed to know every angle on Club Le Boom.
But yeah, Club Le Boom was Boomer Esiason's nightclub.
It was like a disco.
He had it in northern Kentucky while he was playing in Cincinnati. It was right across the river.
Yeah, and there's this news report on like how kick-ass, like, and it's a famous guy doing the news report too. It's some guy that started in Cincinnati or something. It's all weird.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing, Hardy.
Yeah, and they're talking about like the 18-year-olds that come in. It's pretty, pretty strange. All right, look, Callahan's here, Captain Reporter. I mean, I give him the opportunity to be on a big-time show and get some money, and he rewards me by challenging me on it was nonsense. So I'm not overly looking forward to seeing him. But this is the die that's been cast. Andrew Callahan will be in for an hour in just a moment.
80. The program.
Celtics ripped off a 15-2 run in the first quarter to take the lead, and then added a 25-2 run in the fourth quarter to blow out the Pelicans in New Orleans, 122-90. Jaylen Brown, 15 points, and the Celtics' first victory of the season.
I'm grateful. It was a good win, and I'll take it. We got a tough schedule coming up with some big-time opponents, so it's great. Feels great to get the first one. Feels awesome, actually. But we got quick turnaround, so we got to get ready for Cleveland, and we got a tough road trip coming up.
Anthony Simons, 25 points for the Celtics in the win. They have tonight off, and then, as Jaylen Brown just said, they will host Cleveland tomorrow night. Up in Ottawa, the Senators scored 4 unanswered goals in the third period to end all doubts for the evening. They beat the Bruins 7-2. Morgan Geekie and Victor Arvidsson, 1 goal apiece for the Bruins in a loss. They're 5-7, and they play again tonight at home against the New York Islanders. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30, and the face-off a little after 7 o'clock here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. L.A. Dodgers beat Toronto 6-5 in 18 innings in Game 3 of the World Series. Freddie Freeman, a walk-off home run for the Dodgers. They lead 2-1. Shohei Ohtani reached base 9 times for the winners, 4 for 4 with a pair of homers and 5 walks, and he will also start Game 4 of this series tonight. And Kansas City beat the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football 28-7. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99. Visit the 9s on Halloween this Friday for Kids Eat Free, or feed the family at home with a delicious family meal deal to go. You gotta love the 9s. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today. Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Toucher and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone.
On the Sports Hub.
You know, through this stretch here in the middle of the season where guys are banged up and there's weeks kind of start to, the days they kind of really just start to be similar, and I like the consistency of it. I just don't want guys to get flat, or some of these veteran guys that we got to be conscious of getting their bodies back in this time of year.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. If you would like to watch us on YouTube, you can do so. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. If you're listening to us on podcast, this is all up forever on YouTube, unless we play too much music or someone says something, then it needs to be edited and taken down. Andrew Callahan was in for me yesterday. He's a big fan of looking gift horses in the mouth. But Andrew Callahan is the Patriots, writes about the Patriots and other stuff, but he's covering the Patriots right now for the Boston Herald. Andrew is brought to you by Ramjack New England, your local foundation repair experts. Visit them at ramjack.com. Andrew, hello.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm glad that you were in yesterday. in all seriousness, I think you serve the public better in that role than I would, considering I was at a competing NFL game at the time of the game, and they won. So I really, to be honest with you, didn't have a lot of motivation to come in and pontificate on it. I didn't want to watch 3 hours of a game or even highlights that matter.
The Patriots won too, Fred. I know you didn't watch the game and been just now hearing about it, but they
I caught
won.
wind of them winning. That's why I didn't really feel like coming in on very little sleep to just sit through. They're too good. If May got hurt, I would have come in. If they lost, I would have come in.
We've covered the flight thing by now, Andrew.
Okay.
So we don't have to.
The very controversial flight.
You don't have to get on Flight Aware and do all that stuff. It's all been settled. But that was the upshot, and that is the thing where it's difficult to schedule yourself based on, well, how interesting is the show going to be today? and that's a big part of it. Like what how important is it to be there to express opinions and beliefs and engage with the. It's a little weird when they're 6-2. And it's kind of like the same scenario where it's like, yeah, kind of a bad start, but then you end up winning the game and you end up proving that you're the better football team. It's a nice problem to have, but it's not necessarily all that compelling.
Oh, I'm being dead serious. I told Milo, he won't lie to you. I said, I told you guys that I wasn't going to come in at like 4:30, but I told him, if the Patriots lose, I'm going to go to work. If it's like if someone important gets hurt, I'm gonna go to work. But if this is just when I saw the score and I saw no one got hurt, I'm like May didn't get hurt. I'm like I don't want to come in and talk about this. I'm gonna be tired.
Some people are out for blood, but you're coming in for blood. Is what if someone gets hurt. That's when you're here.
I don't want someone to get hurt. I'm just saying that
I know what you're saying.
That people there's like a reason to be there. Like you're like, oh my, what's going to happen? You're fielding phone calls. You're part of it. But this is like it's fun, and if I'm a Patriots fan, I want to listen to the show certainly because I want to hear about it. But it's not particularly compelling to talk about. You were better than me. I will say this: your presence is better than me on that day. I got nothing to add. You were there. You're there every day. You do the show.
Did you leave the game early? That
No,
was also
I did
something.
not.
Okay,
I did
good.
not. No.
I said you would, but it was up for conversation.
I give you 100% certainty that he did not.
No,
okay.
I had it in 8:30.
We spent like 10 minutes on it.
I had an 8:30 flight.
minutes?
Well, you spent a lot of time on me, apparently. I didn't know I was going to be attacked for this whole flight matter. I apologize. I was half an hour off on the flight. But an 8:30 flight. So, yeah, I was going to stay for the game. There was nowhere for me to go. Milo wasn't going to start doing Jaeger shots. I didn't have anywhere to take him. We went to a golf simulator place after the game. I had nothing but time.
Not Northern Kentucky. That was also on the table.
Flew into Northern Kentucky, but,
Yes.
we did not go to Northern Kentucky. Cincinnati's a decent downtown. It's safe.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's very small.
Area around the parks that they built up. You go to a Reds game, walk out, have a good time.
They got a
Bengals
trolley
game.
system.
Yep.
Now, you're better off walking than taking that trolley because that trolley, every about 15 minutes comes, and I'm not exaggerating, about every 15 minutes comes rolling by. So, but I didn't have to get an Uber for anything except for the airport. So we walked everywhere. It was nice. Anyway, all right. So now I'm here, and now I know what happened. I know that Myles Garrett is a big problem, and I'm sure you covered all that yesterday. So, but just for my own edification, is this an indictment of the offensive line? You don't have to go into great depth about it, but I didn't hear any of the show. I slept till 10:45. Is there, for my own edification, was this an offensive line concern, or is this just Myles Garrett is unbelievable?
It's a little bit of both, but it's much more Myles Garrett's going to finish as one of the 10 best pass rushers of all time, probably, the way that he's been playing right now. So it's funny that the 2 sacks Will Campbell gave up, and that's probably the guy in the offensive line we'll care most about, he had a help on, so it was almost like a timing issue. Like, it's cool, Hunter Henry's there to give me some assistance, but if he's screwing up my timing and then Myles Garrett teleports in front of me to behind me to get Drake May, it doesn't really do a service. But aside from those 2 sacks, which is a big, way to start a sentence, he didn't give up a pressure, Will Campbell. As a whole, I had them down for 50%. PFF had them closer to 33, totally palatable number. But to me, there's a lot of pressure for Drake May, pretty much start to finish.
Okay, so the Patriots beat a team in Cleveland that's not good, but they have a very good defense.
Yes.
And the Patriots are able to score on them. So what the Patriots have done this season, if you look at it from a microcosm, is they've beat the best team they played on the road. They beat them. They put up 32 points against one of the best defenses in the league. So you can't even make the argument that they're just beating bad teams, because every test that they've gone up, the beginning of the season notwithstanding, and the game that they lost to Pittsburgh, they turned the ball over 5 times. So I would contend that's a lesson learned more than it is a lack of talent. They've really only lost one game this season. They've only played one game this season where they underperformed, which is the Raiders game. And you could split hairs with my theory on the Steelers game, but that's just my theory. But the one loss that is really like, oh, you're not very good, was the Raiders loss.
And they were up at halftime, right?
Regardless,
Yeah.
that was how I thought the team was going to be this year. Kind of close games. You win 6 or 7 games. Maybe not even 5 or 6 games. But they've passed every test. So now it's time, and we talked before you came on, it's time to kind of to take a macro look on this. How good is this team, and how far can this team go?
So I was talking last night with Michael Holley about whether or not they're Super Bowl contenders, and we disagreed because, if we want to talk about where are they in the league right now, they're top 10. I don't think anyone's arguing that. I take issue, though, with already leaping to Super Bowl contender. Obviously, they're going to the playoffs, and they could win a playoff game. But when we talk about contenders, to me, it's about trust. Do I trust you to make winning plays against good teams under pressure? They did that against Buffalo. The only other playoff team they faced was Pittsburgh. So learned lesson or not.
Pittsburgh ain't going to make the playoffs, but go ahead.
Right. I mean, they're currently in. That's what we're
Right.
going off week 8.
But I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of
the Ravens are favored to win that division, by the way. We covered
yes,
that yesterday.
and the Ravens
Crazy.
will win that division.
Yeah.
That win last week was.
I was just going to say, and they get Lamar back this
Yeah.
week. You saw the kind of, okay, now it's time to turn things around, and then they get Lamar back this week.
Yeah.
So if you include Pittsburgh, they played 2 playoff games. If you don't, that's 1. And it was a 3-point game at Buffalo. And I'm writing after telling you guys, hey, it's time to believe in the Patriots this again, and this is great. And I believe in them as a good team. But when I have that trust, it's what you're doing, which is winning 5 in a row, and also what you've done. I just can't put them yet in the same group as the Eagles and the Chiefs and the Lions and the Rams. And you want to throw the Bills in there.
What
Okay,
will
teams
it
that
take?
have gone.
Well, what will it take for you to include them?
So they have to win the next 2, Atlanta and then the Bucks. And now we're talking about an 8-2 football team. And then I think I'd hear a case. Because you got now more than half the schedule. We're not even at the halfway point yet. We're very, very close. And this sounds like semantics, but the point is there's only so much you can show to this point with a very soft schedule. And that's nothing they control. It's not their fault. It's just where we are in the calendar right now. It says they're good. We can put that in Sharpie. They're good with the potential to be great. But a contender, that's like, you've done this before. I trust you. I don't know if I can trust them yet.
I think for me, it's a little bit of an eye test. When you look at some of the other teams you just mentioned, whether it's Kansas City, who started, kind of feeling it again, and we saw it again last night, whether it's Detroit, whether it's the Eagles, they look different.
Denver.
Oh,
no. I told for weeks.
Defensively,
yes.
yes.
You watch that. I would not want to. If I'm anybody, I don't want to play Denver in the playoffs. You watch.
It'd be a pain in the ass.
You watch.
They would be.
Now, they're not the Lions or Kansas City.
No, but that defense is good enough that,
Denver comes to New England and plays in a playoff game. Well, I'll put it on the record right now. Denver wins that game fairly handily. I will put that on the table right now. Because you're not going to score a lot of points against them, and your defense, I don't think, is a playoff defense.
How about this? When I stop being surprised when I see the Patriots make good plays. And because right now it's not a surprise to see Patrick Mahomes make a pass, rolling to his right, throwing left, and finding Travis Kelce, and him coming down with a tough catch. It's not a surprise to see Goff find Amon-Ra St. Brown on the sideline and him make a tiptoe grab. I'm still surprised when I see Kayshon Boutte coming down with a big catch. I'm still surprised and reminded that Austin Hooper and Hunter Henry are on on this Patriots team and can make plays when you need them to. It's still kind of like, oh, look at that. Now, part of it is we just haven't seen it in so long. But the other thing is I don't have the consistency and the track record from this team yet to make me feel like, yes, they can continue this through some tougher opponents and get past the halfway mark of this season and continue to show me. You have to continue it a little bit before I really, truly, firmly believe.
And you know what? That's totally fine. Like when I say, again, it's about what you're doing and it's about what you have done. There are other teams that have shown this to you and have more roster talent, which is just indisputable compared to the Patriots. It's October 28th. You can only win the 8 games that you played. They've won 6 of them. And they're 6-2 against the spread, which says, again, they're outperforming the expectations along the way. This is a good team. But the last step is to be considered a Super Bowl contender. That's where we already are in late October. And to me, the conversation, because we tend to do this here in the media, has been, fast forwarded a little bit beyond what they've earned.
Well, that's why it makes football fun.
Right.
But they're week
close.
Of discussion. All right, can I ask you this, and then we'll break, is that, and this is just curiosity, and it's not even the Patriots. Maybe you would know. Like, in college, when college teams play and then they go undefeated and they get into they're like mid-major teams or whatever, and they get into the college football playoffs and they lose by 60, and you go, oh, they didn't play anybody. I know this is professional football and it's a lot different, but is there a part of you, or is there any precedent for a team having like a really soft schedule, then getting into an environment that's a playoff environment against a very talented team and being kind of like, oh, like this is way different? I mean, a young team being in the playoffs is different anyway, but is there a disadvantage, any disadvantage to playing this easy a schedule if you win the games?
Yeah, I think so. And it's again, it's not like they didn't choose this. So when we talk about this as a negative, it's not a reflection on the Patriots. They're just doing
this
what
is
they
a
can.
Philosophical question.
Right.
This has nothing to do with the Patriots.
Right.
This
I'm not saying that to you. I'm saying that to everybody listening.
Screw
who's
everyone
going,
who gets
screw
offensive.
everybody listening.
No, if you're going to get defensive about asking if
I'm not defensive. I'm clarifying
not you.
my point.
I'm supporting you. It was my question. It's
a good one.
As a philosophy, the Patriots just happen to be in this situation. If it was Jacksonville, I'd ask the same question. If you play these games against inferior competition, which is great that they're inferior. We did not know that going in. But you're playing these teams that are not the top of the league. Is that a disadvantage going into the playoffs? Now, it's great you're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. If you're too dense to get this through your skulls out there, and you're going to attack poor Andrew, who's obviously very gun-shy, this is the question. So anyway, so you think that maybe there's a point there.
Think about this if we were at the draft, right? You're talking about an easy schedule. How about you play in Division II? And there's this kid who's a quarterback who's slinging it around. He's completing 80% of his passes, got 40 touchdowns and 5 picks. You go, okay, but I don't know how good he is because I don't know the level of competition he faces. Show me that. That's the beauty of competition. How good is your good? I'll find out when you play someone who I know is good. The less you do that, the less I can learn about you. Whereas, look, the Chiefs are made, right? They're all made guys, and it's because of the history, but also they're playing a first-place schedule right now. Mm-hmm. So even if you're someone who's like, I just get the men in black, snap, forget everything that happened before every season. History doesn't matter. It's about this season, this team, blah, 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 blah. You still feel good about them because of the teams they played or another team that's played a harder schedule. When you're the Patriots and you're a Division II prospect, to continue with the analogy, and you're just beating up on other bad teams, it's not even just a leap to D1. When I have to project you to go to the next level, like the playoffs, and play these teams, can you win not just one game, but 2? I don't know yet because I just haven't seen you do it. I might believe, but that's a choice. It's not knowledge. It's not proof.
Right. It's just, I mean, Washington beat the Lions last year, so I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it's just interesting that you're a young team, so many of these kids' first experience in the playoffs, and then, by the way, guess what? You're even at home, like you're playing against competition that's 5 times better than the competition you played against. And again, it's very good that the Patriots aren't that bad competition, right? Like there was a chance going into the season that they'd be the soft part of someone's schedule. There was no guarantee that they'd be better than Carolina. There was no guarantee that they'd be better than Cleveland. There was no guarantee of any of this stuff. I mean, there wasn't. And the fact that you're beating these teams handily is great. But now the question was Super Bowl, real expectations. You've now graduated into another layer of the NFL, much to my surprise. I didn't think this was going to happen. I didn't think Drake May would be this good this quickly. So now it's a different conversation than we were having at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, they're good because they're beating up on bad teams this badly. Like when you are top 5, 6 in point differential, you do this consistently week after week after week. It's a 5-game win streak. That's proof you're good.
Yes.
We're talking now about great.
Right.
Championship great.
Right, and
I don't know.
Which is a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Because we could be talking about, are they going to squeak into the playoffs? We could be talking about, are they going to finish last in the division? These are all conversations that I thought we'd be having. So my own ignorance is on display. But it's fascinating. Not fascinating enough to come in on a Monday, but fascinating enough. All right. I knew that we'd have this hour, and that was enough for me. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
No, you don't know.
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
I probably would assume that those are ongoing conversations that personnel people have and gauging the market around the league.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald is here, as he is every Tuesday in studio. It's very exciting to have him here, as he was here yesterday. I don't know what ground you guys have covered. Dylan Gabriel's not very good, huh?
Did not talk about that.
Yeah.
No, we didn't spend a lot of time on Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. Well, Dylan Gabriel is one of the big stories in the NFL based on who the backup is and what happened in that draft.
Well, that was the thing. I was hoping that we'd get a chance to see Shedeur after the Patriots knocked out Gabriel. Shedeur didn't suit up.
I heard one analyst say that if Shedeur doesn't get at least 4 or 5 starts, complete games essentially, that the Cleveland Browns are doing themselves and really the world a disservice, but mostly themselves as they head into next year's draft. You got to give him 4 or 5 starts here to see what you've got.
I love the short-term memory loss. Like, this dude was complete butt in the preseason. Just, I think, lost more yards in one game passing on sacks than he did actually throwing the ball. And if that's not accurate, it's close. Like, you can't take 6 sacks in the second half of a preseason game. It was so bad. Forget the draft fall. Just go on what we've seen in the NFL. Throw him out there. He'll be better. Like, Dylan Gabriel's no great shakes, but that's an offense that's struggling to tread water. That is an anchor you want to tie to their ankle by putting Shedeur out there.
But the one thing I will say, though, and this is something that Zoe said for years, I think I do put a lot of stock in, it isn't fair to any quarterback to put him out there for a game or two. He said it really takes 3 weeks because the first time you get the call up, you really don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And after the second week, all right, now I kind of got a feel for how the offense is being installed, and I get a sense of what it's like to be getting first-team reps during a practice. And then by a third start, you see what you've got in this guy. Now, it may not be a great performance, it may not be a total crap performance, but at least you get a real sense of what
Jim. Total crap performance.
You get a sense of what the guy is going to be like after 3 weeks as a starting quarterback. You can see how he handles that.
The crazy thing is, like, in this game, after I left here yesterday, I watched all the film, did the film review. It's at the Herald. Read it if you want. If you don't, it's fine. But like they called,
read it.
They called
Read it or don't.
They called 2 trick plays in a 4-play drive in the second quarter with a lead. The coaching staff did that. That tells you everything you need to know about how the Browns felt about their chances playing regular drop-back football with Dylan Gabriel. And granted, everything else around him stinks too. This is not to dump on a mid-round rookie, but he's that bad. It was insane. It was the craziest thing I saw all weekend.
So that's the listen, if you're searching for things to be concerned about, and there's really, it's just, I don't, the thing that would concern me the most about the Patriots against good competition is how untested the defense has been. That's really what it is that, I mean, you've played a litany of quarterbacks that are not very good.
So you have Baker Mayfield a week from Sunday, and then you have Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson back-to-back in December.
I'll tell you this. If they beat Atlanta at home on Sunday, I'll find that to be a very impressive win.
Really?
Yes, and I'll explain. With this, Atlanta's coming off a terrible loss. They think they're a playoff team. You're playing Buffalo, or not, you're not playing Buffalo. You're playing Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay, and everyone's calling that the big litmus test for you. The game after that.
Trap game. Atlanta.
It doesn't count as a trap game because of the Cleveland. The trap game, I would believe, is I insist on it being bookended.
Okay.
A trap game.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
Yeah, because the whole thing is that it's like a Shanghai. You're Shanghaiing someone. You're walking on solid ground, then it falls out, and then you're walking on solid ground again. You understand? I think that you need to for a trap game. It can't be crap into good into crap into good. That's not a trap game. That's just your schedule. If every bad team was a trap game, then
Bad team followed by a good
congratulations,
team.
you've won more trap games than any team in the league history.
Can't have a crap game into a trap game.
Thank you. But thank you. Leave it to you to spice up. That's a headline right there.
Look at that.
But I will tell you is that I don't think Atlanta is a bad team. I think Atlanta believes they're a playoff team. I think Atlanta could be a playoff team. I've seen Atlanta play well this year. I will be impressed. Now, do I think Atlanta is going to win the game? Not necessarily, but I think it's a 50-50 shot.
You have no idea what Atlanta team's going to show up.
Exactly.
I mean, they looked horrible against Carolina. They looked horrible last week, and they've won more than their fair share game.
And they punked the Bills.
Yeah, that's amazing. They're 3-4.
They're so annoying.
Yes,
I don't know what to do with
They
them.
are.
It's not even an indoor thing. It's not being an at-home thing. And you're like, oh, Kirk Cousins started last week. Like, Michael Penix has been nicknamed Lefty Byron Leftwich. And ever since I heard that, I can't get it out of my head because he's just slow with the ball, cannon for an arm, and anytime he has to move, it's bad news for Atlanta. So they come in, like, they'll probably hit some plays. Their offense is also kind of predictable, but then you're like, Bijan Robinson's a problem, Kyle Pitts is a problem, Drake London's a problem. Oh, their pass defense is top 10, has been for a while by EPA per play. They play a lot of man coverage, which worked for the Browns for the most part, not the whole game. Maybe it could be something. No, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this. I expect Patriots to win, but this Atlanta team, it's like, it's not even Jekyll and Hyde. It's just, I don't know. Like, have they had 0 cocktails or had they had 12?
Wild swings.
Yeah, I mean, look, they killed the Vikings, who are in Minnesota. They beat the Commanders, and they beat the Bills. Now, the 49ers, there's no shame in losing from Atlanta, losing in against the 49ers on the road.
Yeah, 3-point game, too, I think.
Right. A 10-point game. But
Okay.
it was probably a 3-point game with a late touchdown. But the Dolphins, you got killed by the Dolphins at home. I think, look, it's only a positive for the Patriots. I don't think this Atlanta game is easy. I don't think it's the Super Bowl, but I don't think it's easy.
Yeah,
I think
Carolina crushed them before they came here.
I understand that, but I don't think that they're a terrible team. I think they're better than a lot of the teams that you've played so far this year. I'll say that. I could be wrong, but I will be impressed if they win this game.
Can we
I don't
venture
think it's
for
that easy.
a minute to another universe where instead of getting hired at the University of North Carolina, Bill Belichick gets the Falcons job, and this is his homecoming this whole week?
Do you want to hear something sad?
Yes.
I watched the entirety of that North Carolina game on Saturday on my phone because I was going to the airport and stuff, but I sat at the gate watching that game.
That second half must have been fun.
I wasn't like living and dying on it, but they fumbled twice in the red zone. Like that team should have won. Like North Carolina should have won that game. They fumbled in the red zone. The kid threw an interception in the red zone, and then they went for 2 at the end of the game to get the win. Like he's gonna. I don't know why he still wants to coach, man. I don't know what's going on. And by the way, if you're listening, we're well aware of the Lombardi Paulo Torre podcast that just tackles Lombardi, and we will have a good 45 minutes of that tomorrow morning in the 7 o'clock hour, because there wasn't time enough to do it today. We need to stretch out when it comes to the Lombardi stuff.
Tackle is putting it gently. That was and granted, stuff, rumblings, whispers, whatever, especially around the combine that I had heard about Lombardi and just not well liked almost universally. That is now all out in the open.
I'm starting to lose faith in humanity a little bit, because just by hearing Lombardi on the radio, I knew he was an idiot. And I knew he wasn't playing a role. I knew that he had that hubris that only comes with great stupidity, which is something I don't even blame the person for. I just blame everyone for not going, hey, that's an idiot. How is everyone not going, wait a second, this guy... Now, if you're a happy idiot, you can make a lot of money in sports broadcasting. Believe me, they'll toss you on a few B-list games. They'll put you on the panel of a pregame on a national. I mean, Gronk's a happy idiot. He's not running around saying he knows more than everyone. The guy can barely speak. But I like Gronkowski. But Lombardi had that hubris that comes from, it's a defense mechanism from being in over your head. And we also, by the way, pointed out when he was putting those long-ass Bill Walsh quotes into his letter to the boosters, that's a sign of stupidity. Why aren't you the one coming up with the idea? Why are you giving a 5-sentence quote from Bill Walsh? You be Bill Walsh. You worked in. It gets into like how he didn't even know him, which you had to figure. But like that was 40 years ago. Like, come up with your own crap. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, who read that note and didn't went, this guy's a moron. He's direct quoting 3 people, long ass quotes in a plea to for patience. What's your plan, stupid? If I, like North Carolina, got that letter, I'd be like, you got to fire him today. And that's what bothers me. Not that he wrote the letter on his dumb typewriter. It's that no one went, hey, wait a second. This guy's really dumb. Like, this is proof. The internet allows you to see how people are dumb very easily.
His career is the guy who jumped in at the last second on the group project that got an A, and you were just there when the grades were announced.
And then ran around trying to teach the class for the rest of their life.
Here's how this worked. Let me tell you. Let me crib all of this knowledge and this demonstration, this work that I just kind of scribble my name at the bottom for.
Yeah, I was an intern for Howard Stern for 6 months. So I got to tell you, you're doing the show all wrong. I mean, what I learned a lot when I was, in the back, putting carts away. I learned all there was to know about broadcasting. And shame on Belichick. But look, you got me into it.
Somebody here, by the way, wanted to praise Bill for keeping it close with number 16 Virginia.
Somebody at this radio station?
Somebody in this room yesterday.
It was me. That's what I said.
Oh, yeah, that Virginia quarterback was red hot, considering he was playing on one leg. Yeah, I watched the game.
I did not watch the game.
They should have won the game. Listen, look, their offense sucks.
My point was it's actually improvement, which we saw none of in the first 3 weeks.
Did you see Virginia, how they've won their games? All overtime.
Really?
They've won 3 games in overtime, in double overtime, triple overtime.
The black magic.
I think it's 5 times. I can tell you if you care, but I'll tell you. Woo!
The original story was that quarterback at Virginia who lit it up at Division II, wherever he was last year, he was the guy that wanted to come to Virginia. I wanted to come to North Carolina. And Lombardi specifically looked at him and went, nope,
yes, he's
not our guy. We want the big, slow lefty. Bring that guy in.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, Virginia, of course it doesn't say if there were overtime losses.
I don't care.
I know you don't. They beat Coastal Carolina, NC State, William and Mary, Stanford. They beat Florida State in like quadruple overtime. They beat Louisville in overtime, and I believe they beat Washington State, in overtime. So a lot of overtime games. That's not a very good team, I can assure you. And not a very good play-by-play crew.
Oh, really?
No. Virginia does not invest in that.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, that was ACC Network.
Well, no, but I also heard the Cavalier Radio Network, and it was because in my car. Oh, I was interested in the game.
Oh, my God. That's a whole other level from I pulled it up on my phone. It's like I found the app or the station that has UVA football radio.
Yeah.
So I could listen in the car on the whole way. That is, wow.
That's
dedication.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Doesn't everybody do that?
They thank you. They're one of 2 listeners.
It didn't take a lot of work, but I appreciate any credit I can get. Sure, I'll take it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with 2 stats and light. Quick headlines here, please, Jonathan. I ran.
Yes.
gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Two stouts, but only one lie. Andrew Callahan is here with 2 stouts and 1 lie.
All right, we don't have a ton of time, so we're going to just have to go with that as the opener. I went too long. You got me on Belichick, or I got myself on it. I got too excited. All right, Andrew, what are the? I'll go to Hardy first. What are the standings?
All right, testing 1, 2, 3.
We got to do this right.
Yeah, all right. You. I'll just paint it down.
Fred has 2. I have 2. And Wallach has 6.
Yeah, because of the weird.
Oh, because of
lie
the weird
thing.
all 3 lies one week.
But Hardy and Wallach were right yesterday, or last week. You guys were both right. I was wrong.
Correct.
How did yesterday go?
Yesterday, I came up with 2 stats and a lie, and both Wallach and Andrew sniffed out the lie. Adam 12 got it wrong.
By the way, I applaud you doing that during that because that wasn't 4 hours a game. That's not 4 hours a game.
Yeah, Hardy was real quick
We
in the
took
pre-show meeting. I got one. We're going to do this.
The scenic route through the NFL is what we took.
Yeah.
The rest of the league.
Very true. The 8 o'clock hour was...
Look, you're a good team beating bad teams. That's great and a lot of fun. It ain't great to talk about for a week. Not a whole lot. Not a lot of meat on the bone, as I say. All right, here we go. Let's go. What do we got?
All right, number 1. The Patriots have already scored more touchdowns this season than they did through Thanksgiving last season. The Patriots have already scored more touchdowns this season than they did through Thanksgiving last season. Number 2. The Patriots are the only NFL team undefeated on the road. The Patriots are the only NFL team undefeated on the road.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel has never lost to the Falcons visiting Sunday as a head coach or player. Mike Vrabel has never lost to the Falcons as a head coach or player.
Okay. All right. I always go first, if you've noticed. And I'm not getting anything right lately. I think John should have to go first because he's so far ahead.
All right, just finishing writing this down.
Yeah.
The Patriots offense was god-awful last year. So I think, considering how prolific the Patriots offense has been this year, I think number 1 is true. So that leaves only 2 or 3 as the lie, unless... Well, it can't be all 3 lies because 1 is true. So the Patriots, only undefeated team on the road. There are a couple of good teams out there. I'm trying to think if the 1 loss.
So the Colts have only lost 1 game, but who knows who they lost?
Exactly. That's the one. That's the one thing I'm attaching myself to.
Me.
Who did the Colts lose to?
And Vrabel has never lost to Atlanta as a coach or a player. I'm not sure about 2, so I'm going to go 3 is the lie.
Has Buffalo lost on the road? Yeah, they lost to Atlanta. They lost in Atlanta. Okay, so the Buffalo did lose in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm just
they lost
Kansas
to the
City's
Patriots was at home.
And Kansas City's got 3 losses.
Yeah.
And one of them's got to be on the road because they've won at home against the last 2 primetime games. All right, go ahead.
I think the Colts lost on the road. I think that 1 loss was on the road. So I think 2 is the lie.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
With how you laid it out, Andrew?
Yeah, this is a simple week.
Okay.
Just the NFL team undefeated on the road.
I'm going to go 3 is the lie that Vrabel lost to the Falcons. He might have been on Patriot teams that weren't great, right? Like he was on like the Carroll team. Right?
He's been on a bunch of teams before the Patriots that weren't good either.
Yeah. So I'm saying 3 is the lie.
So Hardy says 2, and Fred and I say 3.
I smell a comeback. Hardy's right.
Yeah!
2 is the lie. So, starting from the top, the Patriots have already scored more touchdowns this season than they
better
did
not be an international game
through Thanksgiving last season.
Yeah, they didn't score touchdowns at home. That was like the big thing. It's like they may have scored touchdowns on the road, but they didn't score any at home for a long time.
They have 25 already this year.
Okay.
They had 20 through Thanksgiving last year. They had 24 through December 14th or 15th when they played in Arizona. So the Patriots have already scored more touchdowns this year than they did up until their final 3 games last year.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
Yeah. Number one. Number two, there's only one other team in the NFL undefeated on the road. The Seattle Seahawks, who are 3-0. Patriots are 4-0. That's it. The Colts lost to the Rams on the road. It was a close game that they have since, we should have won. And it happens. Number 3, Mike Vrabel, as a player, has never lost to the Falcons. He is 3-0, 1-0 with the Steelers, the only team he played for before the Patriots. Got here in 0-1. They beat the Falcons twice when he was in New England. Never saw them as a Chief. As a head coach, he is 2-0, beating them twice with the Titans. And this was something I stared at 5 times last night. He did lose once in his assistant coach, but that is not what we count here. Head coach and a player, he is 5-0 against the Falcons.
All right, very good.
Fantastic.
There you go.
That's great.
I mean,
good 2 stats and a lie this week.
How good did that feel?
That was
great.
One. That was a good one.
And I'm in last place where I really should be, considering the two ones I got right were in retrospect.
That's right. We gave you 2 points afterwards. That's right.
So really, if you went by just day of, I've gotten none right. So, what are you going to do?
Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie. Andrew's got 2 stats. Andrew's got 2 stats. But he's got 1 lie. But he's got 1 lie.
All right, Andrew.
You know what, Fred, though? Just give it like a half hour. You might have 4 points after I leave.
Come on, girl.
That's true.
Check your email.
Seattle won in Germany or something. All right. It's funny. Seattle in any sport, it just seems like it's from another planet. It's too far away. Like, you don't even think about the Seahawks. But they've come into play in many 2 stats and a lie.
Defense is really good. Patriots might be the only undefeated road team left that they'll play at home this week. Seattle is at Washington, and I think it's Monday night this week.
Is Daniel supposed to be back?
I don't know.
Because Mariota's not very good.
There are a lot of quarterbacks coming back this week. I don't know if Daniels is one of them.
Gio Lopez of NFL quarterbacks?
No.
There you go.
No.
Gio Lopez, $2 million.
I mean, he doesn't believe.
No.
I don't know.
No, he is not.
$2 million.
He's not. You're right. That was unfair.
All right. We will be back in just a moment, and we can again look at my ignorance as we'll explore my ignorance in just a moment. Thank you, Andrew. Everyone read the Herald. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics won their first game of the season last night. They pulled away in the fourth quarter and beat New Orleans 122-90. Anthony Simons 25 points in the win. The Green are 1-3. They're back home to play Cleveland tomorrow night. As for the Bruins, they had a really bad night up in Ottawa. They lost 7-2 to the Senators. Morgan Geekie scored one of the goals for the Bruins.
Just try to develop some consistency, and winning games is no good if you can't do it all the time. So just try to do our best to get back on the horse tomorrow and ready to go at 7 o'clock.
Drake Batherson and Tim Stützle had 2 goals and an assist apiece. The Bruins have lost 7 out of 8. They'll play again tonight at home against the New York Islanders. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at just after 7 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. At the World Series, the Dodgers in Toronto played an epic Game 3 last night. And at about 3 a.m. Eastern time this morning, Freddie Freeman hit a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 18th for a 6-5 Dodgers win. Shohei Ohtani, 4 extra base hits. He reached base 9 times in this game, and he is going to pitch for the Dodgers in Game 4 tonight, with L.A. leading 2-1. And on Monday Night Football, Kansas City beat the Washington Commanders 28-7. Don't look now. The Chiefs are 5-3. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. What we do here changes lives everywhere. Learn more at danafarber.org/specialist. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Are you actually coaching the game, or it's just that is? I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston talk sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports Hub. Half toucher.
Dressed like a gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers. Because some threat of physical harm. I know you're conjuring up all kinds of crazy imagery, but it's just coming off as a little cartoonish.
Did you see the video of him kind of getting into it on stage with his guitarist?
Yeah, with
is it John 5?
John 5.
Yeah, where he's a real threat. Marilyn Manson.
And then John 5 he pouts. He drops his guitar, but John 5 now is Motley Crue and very close to Eddie Trunk, and has a Kiss museum that Knights in Satan's Service. You can look at it. I follow him on Instagram. He has the biggest collection of Kiss memorabilia in the world.
Wow.
Knights in Satan's Service, which is what people thought Kiss stood for, not bothering. They wanted the campaign for the government to shut them down, but they couldn't be bothered to listen to one Kiss song and realize that the only thing that they're interested in is young girls, as in Christine 16, where he talks about being in front of the high school, waiting for her.
She's
to come
been
out.
around, but she's young and clean.
Yeah.
Actual lyric.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Not a whole lot of Satanism going on, but some questionable sexual decisions. All right, Hardy. It is Halloween, which is my least favorite holiday. If I was to rank them from I would say Halloween's the worst, then Thanksgiving, and then I like everything else.
So what's wrong with Halloween?
I don't like the scary stuff or the costumes. I just find it annoying more than anything.
Where you live, are any trick-or-treaters going to find you?
No, but I'll probably, if I do anything, I'll just do it at my ex-wife's house. Like, I'll see the kids, but they go to parties now. Like, when the kids were little, trick-or-treating was fine, but it's not like, and I would dress what Milo would dress as. I was that corny parent. But it wasn't like, out of their childhood, I'm going to look back and go, Halloween was the greatest. Like, we went trick-or-treating. Like, I went trick-or-treating with them every year, but it wasn't glorious fun. It was just fine. I just don't like it. It just seems like a wasted holiday. It's really for, like, cosplaying dorks.
Well, it's for kids, obviously.
Yeah, but aside from kids.
Yeah. But no, the whole idea of going to a costume party, I despise, and I won't do that. But for the kid factor alone, I'd rank it higher than a lot of stuff. And Thanksgiving is...
Easter and Christmas, though, are really the only two other holidays I can think of that you, like, celebrate full on if you're, Christian. And I can't speak. I mean, I've had wonderful Passovers with my
Fourth of
family.
July, you do stuff. You're going to the fireworks. You're going to do something for the 4th of July. What are you doing for 4th of July?
Well, last year I went to the Newton fireworks with my daughter and some friends.
I like 4th of July.
But I wouldn't call that like you don't have to do anything for the 4th of July.
No, not if you're as a pinko commie. You don't.
Yeah, now this year I felt comfortable going because I felt safe. Years past, I thought there might be some people walking around maybe don't belong here.
Well, you're not going to feel safe when we go over these list of movies that are ranked on the scariest, but not just, oh, that scared me. No, they monitored audience heart rates while watching the film. And the average heart rate compared to the highest spike on average for audience members watching films. These go back for the last, let's say, 15
Bridesmaids
years.
dress scene.
So for the last 15 years,
My heart rate has gone through the roof.
I take that back.
They all have diarrhea.
The last 20 years.
I had to spell it out.
The last 20 years. So the top 50 scariest movies. I have the top 10 listed here. See how many you can get on the top 10 list, and more importantly, have you seen or even heard of these movies?
Now, my theory with horror movies is I'm frightened enough with life. I don't need to go and manufacture. I actually don't understand why people like horror movies. That's one of these things that when I see people that really enjoy them, I don't get it. If they're scary, then I don't need to be scared.
It's for the same reason as you, just in a different way. We avoid the horrors of the real world by focusing on the horrors of a fake world.
But you like scary water slides. Doesn't that get your heart going a little bit when you go down one of them scary water slides?
You can't release rated X
What
films.
about the polar
anything
coaster? What about the polar coaster up in New
Yeah,
Hampshire?
I did it. Thanks for bringing it up. Yeah, I was on that thing. But
scary.
You touched the big ice thing outside of it too?
No, I kept my hands I kept my hands where they belong.
No, there's the big revolving block of ice.
I had my hands around my
Stays cold
children,
in the
holding
summer.
them tight to make sure no trouble. But I don't understand why you want to be manufactured scared. And also, the horror movies that I've seen are dumb, except for Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp is the scariest movie of all time. Sleepaway Camp. I was at Todd Anderson's house for a sleepover, and I was telling you I don't remember anything. I remember this. Sleepaway Camp, Todd Anderson's house. No bueno. No, I did not like that at all. And it was all the psychological stuff with the mom that I didn't like. I know, Sarge. I'm fluffing this up a bit because it's a list, so I'm trying to create some conversation. But has there ever been a movie that's disturbed you, like the Sleepaway Camp did to me? It really did scare me.
Yes.
But but now that I'm adult,
sure,
seeing people's heads get chopped off and stuff like that, who cares? It's not the worst way in the world to die. Someone chops your head off, and then it's over. You're not suffering for a long time.
No, I don't get disturbed out of scary stuff. I get disturbed over what was the Casey Affleck Manchester by the Sea?
Well, that stuff.
That's
There's movies that have great emotional effect on me.
Yeah.
Right.
But they're not necessarily horror films.
There are
By
a
the way,
couple.
speaking of Disturbed, I have yet to show you what they do now live, where the singer of Disturbed sits in the electric chair, and then sparklers come out of the top of it while he fakes being electrocuted, but they say, do you have any last words? And he just gives 2 middle fingers. You should hear the crowd go nuts. The crowd is deafening. It's like the Ottawa crowd last night. They go, do you have any last words? And in an arena, he gives the middle finger what a spectacle. And then they show that he got electrocuted by a sparkler going off above his head. Who okayed any of this? Anyway, that's another guy who's super scary if you're afraid of little people. Right?
Or more fat than jacked.
Exactly. Yeah, there's 2 ways to
Little
play.
Dave Draymond.
Or if you want to see the guitar player walking around with girls, you probably shouldn't be with her. That's another band. All right, go ahead.
All right, so out of the last 20 years, the scariest movies based on average heart rate and the highest spike. So think jump scares, think things that are truly scary that jump out at you from these horror movies of the last 20 years.
Take that. Kaboom! Are we supposed to guess?
Boo!
Because if we're guessing, I got news for you. I'm not getting any of them
All
right.
right.
I think this would be more of an exercise of
Scary movies from the last 20 years. Think of like, what were the big movies?
Is Scream last 20 or not?
Jesus, John.
The kid from Keenan and Kel, the guy that was in the comedy duo that were funny.
Get Out?
Yeah, Get Out is Get Out one. That was a big hit. It was Smile one. That was a big hit.
Oh, there you go. Oh, good call.
There you go. Smile. Both Smile and Smile 2, 8th and 7th, respectively, on this list.
All right. What about the one that the Jim from The Office made to try to make up for being such a pussy? Like where, hey, look, you can't make a sound.
Oh,
The
Quiet
That
Place.
is number 27. It didn't make the top 10.
How about
You like horror movies, Adam?
I do. I enjoy horror movies. Yes, absolutely.
My son likes them, so I've seen a few of these with him.
How about
You let him watch them? He's going to become some devil-worshipping maniac.
I know. John has one.
Saw? Is Saw on
No,
there?
gee, I thought you were going to come up with something in the...
All right, I have one more guess before you completely ridicule me. Is The Conjuring?
You're a stupid bird. Too late.
See,
I
I
already
did
made
get
fun of
one.
you.
Conjuring from 2013.
I'm conjuring up some nerdy things.
Highest spike of a heart rate, 132 beats per minute.
The thing on the screen came out abruptly.
Did Sarge Spooky T scare you?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, like the thing about psychological thrillers is almost the slow pacer.
Yeah.
But these horror movies almost seem to have like a rhythm. I've never seen Friday the 13th. I've never seen Halloween. I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street, and I remember being little and getting in trouble for playing it at my birthday party from other kids' parents. And I was like, what about this is frightening at all? I never found Friday. This is no sleepaway camp.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a big budget nonsense. So I didn't care for that.
All right, so number 10 on the list is a movie that I get excited every time I see it come up on cable because I think it is the Don Cheadle biopic about DJ Petey Green in Washington, D.C., because it has the exact same title, but it is not the movie. It's a Bad Boys situation. No. Remember,
when you see Bad Boys,
you're like, oh, sweet, Sean Penn, S.A. Morales.
The guy who picks his nose and puts it in the food is going to happen.
It's not that Bad Boys.
Now, Bad Boys is kind of a horror movie.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of rape, prison rape. I mean, that's scary. I don't like that. That's disturbing. Oz. Oz is disturbing, but that's not a horror movie. They just went, how far? Did you hear that if someone showed up late to like a table read for Oz, they would have them get raped in like the next episode?
I tell her the truth.
That was something that I'm not lying to you. That was something they held over their heads. They're like, if you screw around, like we're going to have you get raped. Like on the show.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not making that up.
Somebody's going to have to give us some booty.
Yeah.
They let a lot go
Seems
with
like
that
something
Oz.
I would take up with the SAG-AFTRA rep. I'm like, hey, I got to call my shop steward.
Regulation.
In the first season, Beecher puts on makeup and pigtails and performs in a talent show. First of all, you're having a talent show. And second of all, I don't think you should allow that. This seems like this guy's A, high on angel dust, and B, this is against his will. He came in a very straight man. All right, go ahead.
All right. The movie is called Talk to Me, and that is number 10 on the list. All right.
That's just a good sentiment.
There's a possession movie on here. It's not The Exorcist, but it does
Is it
have,
about George's belts that he's in possession of?
It does have exorcism in the title.
The
This is on
Exorcist of Molly Brown.
You're so close.
Close enough.
Yeah, we'll give it to you.
Annie Hall.
The Exorcism. The Exorcism
Look at the
of
creep.
The Exorcism of Hannah and her sisters.
Of course.
No, it's The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Oh,
Watch Manhattan when the whole entire storyline is him dating a high school girl. Woody Allen got himself the tall high school girl. And that's Manhattan, which is a good movie. And the whole plot. And he takes her out to dinner and everything with like intellectuals. The whole nine. Manhattan.
Okay, so there's a movie on here that's on TV a lot, and I remember Big Jim Murray saying it's total crap. This is number 6 on the list to Adam.
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Big Jim didn't like it. That's all I know about it.
Well, of course he didn't like it. It's a good movie.
Okay.
Ooh.
It
There's a little
shots fired.
That's a little FNX beef.
The movie is called Hereditary.
Yes.
Anyone seen it?
No.
Okay.
Ari Aster, same director as The Witch, and
That's what I ask everyone with 3 toes.
And Midsummer.
Is that Hereditary? If so, you got a cousin?
Are they also webbed?
Does everyone got something off? What gives with the gene pool? Give it up.
Did you already mention The Conjuring?
Yes.
Okay, The Conjuring has already been mentioned.
that.
Okay, this is where we get fun. There is a movie on here that I've seen with Ethan Hawke. This came out in 2012.
Reality Bites.
And this has consistently made the list. Now, I watched it. I didn't think it was all that scary.
I think Ethan Hawke's a very good actor, so it has to be a good movie. I don't think he would be in garbage, because even when he was young, he was, like, as much as I make fun of Reality Bites, it was a part of the zeitgeist in the 90s. So I can't imagine it's a poor film.
No, it is not a bad movie. The movie is called
Boyhood.
The movie is called,
which is scary because these kids grow so fast.
Sinister.
Check it out.
Adam, what's the plot of Sinister? Is that the one where there's he's a writer?
He's the writer, and he moves into the house that the serial killer lived in. So, of course, there's weird demonic.
He lets the lawn grow for a very long time.
I misspoke, too.
He lets his dog go to the bathroom.
The house falls into disrepair.
The Witch is Robert Eggers, not Ari Aster. Anyway,
nice
continue.
going.
They buy a house, and it turns into a real money pit.
Can't.
Is Brewster's Millions on there?
No.
Because it shows the foibles of capitalism.
But let me tell you, those 2 kids found a way through. Even though he was convinced that she had slept with her conductor ex, she did not. She just got drunk, and they sang the entire Beatles catalog.
Oh, nice.
All right, number 3 on the list. I'm not even going to ask. I just love that this is a movie that people seem to have watched. Skinamarink.
What is that?
Skinamarink?
Skinamarink.
What is that?
Skinamarink. I
Like
have
the child's rhyme, Skinamarink dinky dink, Skinamarink doo.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Don't
Maybe they did that, whatever
All
Tough
right.
Skins after school state program you were a part of.
What is
But they didn't do that in Farmington Hills.
Adam 12, what is Skinamarink?
It is a point of view horror film from the point of view of a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
I like the POV of the bottom of the bowl.
Wake up in the middle of the night to find that all of the doors and windows in their house are gone and their parents are missing.
Begging for the brown.
Is that on there?
Just
Chuck
missed the top
Berry.
10.
Chuck Berry's flick.
Time for my breakfast.
I love that everyone knows about it. That's his legacy for so many people. Chuck Berry, what do you know about him? Oh, there's this video. I'm not even sure how many people have seen it, but we know.
I'm still not convinced it's real.
Oh no, it's real. Oh, it's real, my friend. That's before AI. That's as real as it will come.
What's the matter?
It's not even disturbing. It's just like, wow, Chuck, you're into it. Chuck had a bad childhood. You got to figure. 'Cause that ain't. You're not. God don't make you wanting to do that. I don't think. I think something's got to happen when you're young that you want to start endeavoring into those waters. I like that. It's time for breakfast. Go ahead.
The other 2 movies on the list were something from 2020 called Host and 2010's Insidious.
Insidious. Yeah.
Insidious, which I don't know anything about either one of those.
They're not
movies.
good.
But they're very scary.
So what's the deal, Adam? You watch these in the movie theater? Because I would imagine it's much scarier in the movie theater.
It depends on the film. Like I went and saw Weapons earlier this year in the movie theater.
I
That
s-
was fun to see in the theater.
That was a fun
yeah,
movie.
That was a good film. But
Because I saw Misery in the theater, and I actually
it's a tough
enjoyed
movie.
that experience very
Yeah.
much because I think the reason I don't even know how I ended up there. I must have gone with my parents, but my parents bringing for a movie was no. I mean, we're talking about 2-3 times. So, but part of the excitement of the movie is when, spoiler alert, she takes the sledgehammer to his legs, like the reaction of the audience.
Right.
So I would imagine a horror movie is much more enjoyable in a theater. That's why they do so
Weapons
well.
is a great example because Weapons has a lot of funny moments in it. So it was nice to be in an environment in a full theater where people are all reacting in the same time. But yes, that's definitely one of the.
It had a lot of funny moments.
Yes.
Oh, it's like yeah. I've been in movies where everyone was cackling. Son-in-Law.
Just like that.
In the Army now with Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
A guy died he choked on his own vomit from laughing so hard.
Chairman of the board.
Chairman B-O-R-E-D.
Yeah, as Norm Macdonald said.
McDonald come up with off the top of his head.
Good pull.
The board is when she goes, what's the name of it? She goes, I don't want to say. So this woman from Melrose Place,
Courtney Thorne-Smith,
is on Conan O'Brien, and Norm Macdonald was the guest before her. And she's promoting a movie with Carrot Top.
Someone thought it'd be a good idea to let Norm stay on set.
And
just
it was.
move one chair down.
And if you ever want to see how brilliant Norm Macdonald is, so there's this big hubbubaloo. She doesn't want to say the name of the movie because Norm's making fun of it, and he says box office poison. And she goes, chairman of the board, 1B. And Norm comes in and he goes, yeah, B-O-R-E-D. And just he came up with it, like in his head, like in a split second.
Conan's
after
incredulous.
she said
He can't believe it. His reaction is a big part of it too.
I disagree, but
No?
I think Conan is a bit. He could have been a fly, and it would have been fine. It could have been a stump.
I do like how he keeps trying to make up for it. He's like, well, I'm going to see the movie because of this nice lady here. She's terrific. This whoever this person is.
I wonder if there was a part of her that was attracted to him because she knew it was terrible.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was part of it that was like, thank God he's doing this.
I'm a big Courtney Thorne-Smith fan.
Everyone was. Ooh. I mean, Revenge of the Nerds 2, when that came on, you said, all right, I'm good for about 2 hours.
Summer School.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't the summer school. Now, we have a difference of opinion there because the summer school femme fatale was the lady from the Austin Powers fart scene.
A lot of vagina.
She hung out with Chainsaw and his buddy there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, she was the sex pot.
Mm-hmm.
No, too much.
I understand your proclivities. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
No, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hi. How is everyone? I'm glad that you're doing well. If you would like to email anyone on the Toucher and Hardy show, you can probably figure it out, but you can go to 985thesportshub.com and consume the content there. You can follow us on socials at Toucher and Hardy and at Hardy985. And at Fred Toucher on Instagram is about to reach 26,000 followers, which is funny because I saw something that my agent had made for me like 3 or 4 years ago, and I had 21,000 followers. So this is not cooking with gas here. I'm slowly building. Now, the photo with Milo and I at the game, and the thanks to Bert Breer, now that had some traction. It was no Kendra photo, but one cannot rely on just photos with Kendra Middleton.
Sure.
You know, I gotta come up with something. I thought about saying boom a lot. We'll try it out.
I picked up a few.
Boom.
I hadn't posted much other than show content in a while, and still with the Gary Gulman post from last Friday and the stuff from Dennis Lehane from last week, I picked up I don't know, like another 100 or something.
Yeah,
I'm up at 8,000.
Hardy didn't even talk about it, but he did this big signing with Dennis Lehane, and it wasn't even station related. It was just his place in the literary community, correct?
Right.
It was the town of Quincy was nice enough to ask if I wanted to come and host the.
Adam, why didn't you go? Was it a library? Wasn't it?
No, it was actually a guy that Adam 12 went to high school with.
Yeah.
Who initially had asked Adam, and Adam, being the gracious, generous sort that he is, said, "You know what? I think Hardy is a big Dennis Lehane fan. Maybe he would like to do it." And I said, "Yes, please, thank you." So I went and did that last Thursday night, and I was worried about like filling an hour because that's a long time. And I showed up to Granite Links, and there were, I don't know, like 500 chairs set up in the ballroom. I said, "How many tickets have you given away for this?" And he said, "Oh, they were gone in 15 minutes." He said, "This place is going to be packed." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Okay, and I prepped a lot for it because I wanted to do this right. This isn't, sitting there with, somebody who's, just talk about the game for a second, move on. I'm like, no, we're going to go over, like, your early life here in Dorchester and all the books and the movies. And he's written on great TV shows. He wrote for The Wire. He wrote and worked on the show Blackbird, which was fantastic. And he's adapted Stephen King stuff for the screen. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's a heavyweight. So I told him ahead of time, like, I think like 45 minutes is about the sweet spot for these things. Maybe we talk for a half an hour, do some audience questions, and then get on with our lives. And they're like, yeah, just read the room, whatever you want. We ended up going a full hour of just the two of us talking, and then we did audience questions for another 10 or 15 minutes, and he was just the coolest, nicest, funniest guy.
Okay,
was great.
Give us two of his big books so people know who we're even talking about. Because I didn't know off the top of my head.
Gone Baby Gone, Shutter Island, Mystic River.
Yeah, so certainly these are, I would imagine, bestsellers.
Yeah.
Certainly based on the success of the films that they're made after. But don't think he's not hobnobbing with the literary set. He's going to salons, the whole thing. I mean, you want to know what these Harvard professors are doing. I mean, he's over there. They're talking about stuff you wouldn't even understand. All right. Scott says, hypothetical here. We were talking about Shohei Ohtani. He was very good last night. I said he's the best athlete I've ever seen in person. He says Shohei has never played football and probably never even held one before. But I bet he would be a starting QB in the NFL by next September. We're being robbed of a modern-day Deion or Bo. Do you think he could do it? Physically, there's no question he could do it. There's not a question. He's big, strong, and fast. He could absolutely. In fact, he'd be one of the elite. He might be the most size per speed, if you do that kind of equation.
Athletic quarterbacks.
Well, by size.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not like as fast as Lamar Jackson, but he's faster than what's his face in Buffalo? Josh Allen. He's faster than Josh Allen, in my opinion. I mean, he's fast.
Well, 50 homers and 50 stolen bases in one season.
Right. So I'm not screwing around. Like I'm telling you, I've seen Barry Sanders, I've seen Michael Jordan, I've seen Julius Erving, I've seen a lot of good players. Aaron Judge, I've seen a lot of very good players. Some would say the best players. Some very smart people. I passed the test that you guys wouldn't get past the first question. I misrepresented and didn't quite understand what the test was, which I find very funny. All right, anyway, so Shohei Ohtani, I don't know if he couldn't obviously be a quarterback next season because there's too much to figure out mentally, but if he had played football, even starting in college, because if I'm a D1 school, I'm taking a shot at him playing quarterback for me. I don't care if he's ever played the position. I'll give him a shot. I'll run the option if I have to for a little while.
And normally I would say don't be ridiculous. They're two totally different pursuits, but he's obviously such an athlete that I would take it under consideration.
He'd have one of the strongest arms in the NFL. He'd be one of the fastest quarterbacks in the NFL, and he'd be one of the biggest quarterbacks in the NFL. So there's not like a whole lot of wiggle room. I mean, there's not. Right. You're not just going Justin Verlander throws hard. I mean, you're talking about a guy that plays two ways in the World Series for the team that's going to win the World Series. It's insane.
Yeah, not just he doesn't hit eighth either. He hits leadoff. It pitches 6 shutout innings, strikes out 10, hits 3 homers, 4 for 4 with 2 homers last night. It's going to start tonight.
And I bet you he would pick up the offense quickly in that all these disciplines, Major League pitching is a full-time job. It's not just they keep loose. I mean, they have really detailed reports on lineups and things like that. They know every hitter's strengths and weaknesses. And then when you're hitting at his level, every pitcher's strengths and weaknesses. So the amount of film that has to be consumed is probably insane.
Enjoy this now if you're a baseball fan, because there's going to be a time where he has to give up pitching. It's just inevitable.
I was surprised he went this long.
Yeah, no, it's going to be whatever it is, a year, 2 years, 3 years. You're never going to see this again. So enjoy it while it's happening. I have an email. It's for you, Hardy, but for some reason it's addressed to me. This is from Rich in Sherborne. And he says, just listening to you talking about Courtney Thorne-Smith, ask Hardy this from me. Julie Bowen or Courtney Thorne-Smith, both TV moms, both blonde.
Yeah, but they're very different, but go ahead.
I'm going to go Courtney Thorne-Smith.
Why?
I'm picturing in my mind, a couple of scenes, and the one from summer schools, that's a little creepy because it's a forbidden romance.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come off like that.
She's got a little of that low energy that I like. You know what I'm saying?
But she has a bosom. Now, Julie Bowen is not. She doesn't have the albatross of having large breasts.
I'm just saying that I like the energy of Courtney Thorne-Smith more than what's her name?
Julie Bowen.
Julie Bowen.
Who this whole exercise got started with because you know of a side boob shot in a Modern Family, like a split-second side boob shot, like the woman that discovered John Ritter's nut coming out of his shorts on Three's Company. I've watched the scene now several times and I can't see anything going on.
Is that how this whole thing got started?
Yes, because he went right when the show started. You're feeling someone out. I'm trying to think of things to highlight about his personality, and he, out of no prompting from me, was it was like the Modern Family scene where you can see Julie Bowen's boob, with Julie Bowen and boobs not often mentioned in the same sentence. So that was fascinating. And then I went and watched the scene, and I'm like, who remembers this? Nothing. It's not Basic Instinct, which I still haven't seen, but I'm aware.
Never saw Basic Instinct.
No, but I could, unlike LeBron, if you asked me a question, what was my favorite part, I'd say when Newman was interviewing her and she crossed her legs. Because you know why? Because I've heard of it.
Yes.
Because I exist on the planet. I like The Godfather. What's your favorite scene? I don't know. How about just say anything? All right, Scott from Rentham. And it's good fortune because he's walking into this. Hi, Scott.
What's up, guys? Hey, welcome back, buddy.
Thanks, bro.
I wasn't up early enough today. Did you tell your nightmare travel story? Like usually at the beginning of the show when you're not in that day?
I did not make my decision based on a nightmare travel situation. I made my decision based on the Patriots winning and really just going, why go through the aggravation? of getting
Oh,
very
my
little
gosh.
sleep.
Like 4 straight hours of Patriots, right?
Well, and they won. If they lost,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Are you guys doing those, like, speaking of you guys doing them women compared to that, are you guys doing those, like, playoff rankings when the NFL playoffs come?
Of what?
Like women.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yes.
All right.
We're going to do grossest sex scenes.
Thank God you brought that up. So.
It's going to be a whole thing. Listen, I'll stand by
Welcome
that
back,
segment.
buddy. I'm glad you made it back from Cincinnati.
Thanks. I am too.
See you, bud.
All right, buddy. All right. So why don't you read the email? He walked into it.
Okay.
This is what Scott called in by happenstance, but this was an email that was read to me by Hardy, sent to Hardy before it.
I can find it by the subject line, which is Sherwin-Williams.
Oh, yes.
So he got all excited because
I
it's
saw
like something at a hardware store.
Yes.
So my wife's friend went to Bryan Adams, and this guy was sitting behind her. My wife says, "Look at his head. It looks like a paint can." And it's a photo of the woman with Scott Zolak.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, I said my flight was delayed till 9. I thought my flight was at 8 actually, but it was at 8:30, and then it turned out it took off at 8:25. And so there was some question of the validity of me taking the day off. But if you can watch the YouTube or listen to the podcast, I showed the emails or the text messages. I didn't think it was worth. Delayed or not, I didn't think it was worth the short time. If they lost, I was going to come in. If someone got hurt, I was going to come in. But I had the day, and I chose to take the day. And I have another one, too, in my pocket, just so you know.
Look out.
Oh, boy.
And, so 4 o'clock on a Sunday, you might get a little message from Freddie T that go call in the cavalry because I earned it. It wasn't a sick day. No. No. It was a day that I earned by being a Beasley effing media employee, and it's just one of the many perks of working here. Like watching your friends leave.
There's one more email that we have to get to, and then for the stack, I want to tell you what Mike Reese got up to this weekend.
I like that. All right, so we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Celtics ripped off a 25-2 run in the fourth quarter, and they blew out the Pelicans in New Orleans 122-90. It's the Celtics' first win of the season. They're 1-3. They're back home to play Cleveland tomorrow night. Up in Ottawa, the Senators scored 4 unanswered goals in the third period. They beat the Bruins 7-2. Bruins are 4-7. They play the New York Islanders at TD Garden tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 6:30 and the face-off at a little after 7 o'clock right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And the LA Dodgers lead the World Series 2-1 after outlasting Toronto 6-5 in 18 innings last night. Freddie Freeman won it with a walk-off solo homer leading off the bottom of the 18th inning at 2:51 Eastern time this morning. Shohei Ohtani reached base 9 times. He was 4 for 4 with 2 homers, and he'll also start Game 4 of this World Series tonight. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Boston Prolotherapy. Don't let joint pain keep you off the court, course, or trail. Eliminate that pain with Dr. Frank.
Hardy, you had some things that you wanted to get to.
I do indeed. There's one email here. It came in, let's see. GBNIG. Hey, you guys see my IG action lately? Gare Bear is blowing up. Just posting pictures of my television and giving props to hopeful future co-stars.
Yeah, have you seen this Facts of Life?
So
Tutti, reach out.
So I went on the Gare Bear's Instagram 1 week ago. It is literally a photograph he took of his television set.
Yeah, Fonzie made it over that shark. Who knew?
And it says, episode 2 of the hashtag The Chair Company is tremendous, funny as hell, heartwarming, and the usual, what the hell is happening, ? Exclamation point. Plus they bust out the twister, exclamation point, comma. At HBO Max, at TSR Robinson 23, at I Think You Should Reel, at Andrew _D Young, at Mr. Ghost Panther, at Lake Bell.
It's awesome. When these guys' Instagrams blow up, they're going to be, what's the cause? And they're going to go Tangway. And they're going to go, influencer, pop him in the next flick.
Yeah.
I got one, the Chair Company. Yeah. I got, next year we put out one that's on wheels.
Yeah.
Think about it. We got Tim Robinson spinning around like nobody's business. It's fun. He gets dizzy, falls, he throws up. It's a pratfall. It's awesome. Dig it.
But, Fred, what I really want to bring you up to speed on is Mike Reese and how he spent his weekend. Now, he was on with us yesterday morning, presumably to talk about the Patriots. But what we ended up talking about was his weekend that consisted of going to Mohegan Sun Saturday night with Scott Zolak to see Bryan Adams. Now, we knew that he was going to do this. What we hadn't factored in is the fact that Mohegan Sun, not a hop, skip, and a jump away from where any of us live, so stayed for the entirety of the show, as he always does, which finished up, according to one emailer, after 11 p.m. Drove home, was at Gillette Stadium at 8:30 on Sunday morning, where he did all of his media obligations, watched the entire game, did his media obligations after the game. And you know what he did then? Went to see Bryan Adams again at the Garden on Sunday night.
There's so many parts of that story that are interesting. A, that Bryan Adams in the region can play 2 arenas is fascinating. That there's that many people that would go see him at Mohegan Sun, that he feels like, now I've conquered that area of Connecticut. It's time to go. If the show at the Garden is sold out, I'll tell you what artists have lost in royalties because of streaming, they're more than making up for at the Garden. I was talking to Melissa from Hot the other morning, and she's like, did you go to any more concerts? Because she follows me on Instagram, and she likes like the pictures of me and my daughter at concerts. And I'm like, yeah, I went to one at the Garden. And she's like, who? And I'm like, I got no idea. I couldn't remember. And I like went looking and I couldn't see it. And it was very frustrating. And then I saw in our family calendar, it's like Kelly Uchis or something. Right. And Melissa didn't know who she was.
Oh, boy.
And Melissa's on Hot.
She goes out a lot too.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you would figure that based on the woman's music, that they like would be at least aware of her. So the point is not anything about Melissa or me or the artist. The point is that you don't have to be a big star to play arenas anymore, which has got a vibe of the 70s, like when Crocus would play Kobo. Like these are like the bar to play an arena is getting back to a 70s, 80s level, like where Rat could play like the Garden. Like it's getting to that. And I would say because of COVID, of all the things COVID destroyed and all the ways that COVID is still affecting us today, in the ways that could have been easily predicted, we are now seeing the results of the COVID generation. What it did,
but it was pretty.
Oh, it was full.
So I mean, you would think it would be a Roadrunner or a MGM situation. You would think, although it wouldn't surprise me if they booked him at the Paradise.
There's no way.
There are enough old guys to give a crap about Sugar reuniting 30 years on. I don't know.
If I care, then that means there's 2,000 people in town that care.
Yeah.
If Bryan Adams can play Mohegan Sun, Bryan Adams, whose hits were terrible, let alone the last time they were hits. I mean, Bryan Adams is a real D-lister A real piece of crap.
Oh,
It's a hurtful comment, man.
Pat
That cuts like a
Benatar
knife.
opening up for him. There you go.
Now, Pat Benatar was a sensation.
She's opening up for him.
Which is odd because Bryan Adams was never a star. You'll have to follow me on this. He was never a star. He had hit songs, but no one liked them. No one liked them.
Run to You cuts like a knife? No?
Those are first album songs. But I'm telling you, after that, Summer of '69, no one likes that song. Like, no one likes that song. Like, I'm going to go buy the album with Summer of '69 on it. Let's be honest. It's like the whole career of Sonic Youth. It's like Billy Joel shows. Like, there's an obligation. There must be some kind of obligation. Like John, if Billy Joel comes to town, he has to go. Doesn't like Billy Joel. He just has to go. Because he's a Jewish man in his 50s.
Manchurian candidate type of thing.
It's beyond your control.
Yeah.
You have to
He's
go.
gotta get hooked
It's like
up.
you and Howard Stern. And,
Get hooked up to a monitor
Buy a
before
copy
I go.
Catcher in the Rye and then
Right.
go to Billy Joel.
Exactly. All right.